Alrighty, I think I got it to work.
Great.
Alrighty, let me just send it off because we are live. Let me just change the name of this to there we go. And share. And let me post in Discord. We're good to go. Alrighty. Yeah. Wow, that
Okay,
was
cool.
alrighty. I think we're good to go. Somewhat. It's gonna take a little bit for my Google Sheets to load out. Which one do you want to start with?
I'm fine with starting with either. I don't really mind.
You want to just start with ours? I mean, I think that'd probably be
Yeah,
the
we can just
easiest.
we can start with yellow. That's probably a good idea.
Alright, and I'm gonna open up this prep doc, so like speed tiers and stuff is pretty nice to have. Alrighty. Hold on, let me make one more Google Sheet. Just so we can have like some sort of a tier list. Alrighty. It's gonna be very crude since I wasn't able to find like like the PNGs, but we'll make do. Alrighty. So let's just start in order, I guess.
Yeah, I think we should just go like each team in the draft in order.
Alrighty, I guess we're starting with mine. Um, I don't know if
Yeah.
I'm allowed to say much, but I mean my
Yeah,
idea.
I can probably talk.
Yeah.
So I mean, what I think. I mean, yeah, I think the starting core you have is like obviously really strong. Your team has like a lot of really fast guys. I think having a bunch of guys above 100, pretty solid. Um, I like a lot of the low tiers you took. I think Heliolisk with solar power is going to be like really underrated. Vileplume at 2 points was like kind of a steal.
Yeah,
That was a really
Vileplume
good
was
pick.
like, I was looking at it and I was like, I wanted it so bad. It gets like sleep powder, it gets after you, which I was thinking some pretty funny stuff with. Plus, it actually has
Yeah, that
pretty
could be a good
solid
one.
special stat, and with growth, kind of can do some good damage.
Yeah, I think one thing I noticed I was thinking about regarding your team is it doesn't really feel like you have very many like good defensive pivots. Like Garchomp obviously can be played pretty defensive, and you obviously have a Fortress, but I do think a lot of your team is like pretty like fast
Yeah,
and like attacking, but you don't like it might be hard for just like finding ways to pivot. You might be reliant
yeah,
on the Meow Stick to get up screens quite
yeah.
often. Fortress can obviously be very physically bulky, but any fire move will cause it to
Melt.
explode. It doesn't help that you have Sun as
Yeah,
um so looking at the team, I think probably the biggest weakness is just your defensive like
yeah.
utility. You're gonna be really reliant on Garchomp. Tinkaton has pretty good special defense. I think it's what like 110 or something like that. What's this
It's
for Tinkaton's special defense?
105.
105. Yeah, so I mean that's not bad.
Yeah,
But for a steel type, it's like typically I feel like you want like at least one steel type that has like a really good defensive stat, which you do have the Fortress, but um
It's an absolute
Yeah, I think
special
that's
like pickle. It dies.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. So yeah, I think that's kind of what I was thinking regarding your team. Is I think you have like a really good solid core and a lot of really good fast offensive pressure.
Yeah.
But you might, if you get on the back foot, you might end up kind of struggling a bit. Just I don't, you don't really. I didn't really see very much like defensive capabilities from the team. But if you can just like pressure your opponent and just kill them, then
Yeah.
maybe it doesn't matter. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, Aerodactyl, fast tailwind, really good. Tinkaton with mold breaker is pretty cool. Um, honestly, prankster anything is just kind of like a stupid prankster, just stupid. So,
Yeah.
like the Heliolisk with solar power. Um, yeah, I think
I
you got some really
yeah.
good value low tier picks.
I mean, I feel like as I've been kind of like playtesting this team, like kind of seeing what works and what doesn't, this team lives and dies by screens. I mean, with screens, like half of these Pokemon become like way more bulkier and just able to survive
Right.
much more.
Yeah, yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And I think also what's going to be too hard is because you're so, not to say like so dependent on, but like because Mega Charizard is your big threat. A lot of people are going to bring rock coverage. A lot of people are going to bring ice coverage for Garchomp. So just going to be I think piloting it will be a bit tougher than might be a bit tough, but you can you have good ways to defend Charizard.
Yeah.
With the Meowstic and screens and the Garchomp as your kind of alternate guide to be resistant to rocks. But I definitely think you have like really really good offensive pressure. Defense might just be a bit, you just have to be careful when you play these guys.
Yeah. I
That's
think for
that's my assessment of this team. I think.
yeah, I definitely agree. If there's like one thing I could change in a perfect world, like if I had like 100 points and I could like move things around, I would add a redirector. I think a redirector instead of like I don't know, Tank, Fortress, or Phalanx makes this team from good to great because I think that
Yeah,
redirection would just be enough to like actually let the team do something instead of just
yeah,
go fast and pray that nothing stops you in your way.
yeah. That's fair. And it was kind of tough because I felt kind of the same way and with my team, but there's only like there's like two follow me users and like four uh rage powder users. It's like really limited in those options. So
Yeah,
I
and
think the
one of
only
them
one
is
left on the board
Ariados.
was like one of them. What?
I think one of the like cheap ones was Ariados, but like that was easily
Yeah,
taken.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think like Volcarona is still available, but that's like 15 points, which is like
Yeah, and it costs us
quite
too
quite
much
expensive.
overlap because I got
Yeah,
two Rock
yeah,
Leaks now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think
Who's
it was like
still
just
something?
Ariados. Scovillain was one of them, and Sinistra was another.
Yeah. Yeah, but besides that, I feel like the team is pretty okay. I think it'll
I
get
think
enough
I
done.
think it's gonna be, I think if you can like maintain the sun and just kind of spam Heat Wave with Charizard, that might be just enough to kind of carry you to multiple wins. I think that's gonna be really hard to stop. Even even resist are gonna take a lot of damage from that. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, just gonna be a lot of protecting the Charizard and just being able to spam Heat Wave and earthquakes from Garchomp will get you really far.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe a
so
little bit
you have
of
A tier as your highest.
yeah A tier. Maybe I should add S tier. Let me just move everything back.
Um, yeah, yeah, maybe. I think I would put this in like I'd have to see like all the teams, but
Yeah, we can move
maybe
things
like kind of
around
like
though.
yeah, I was saying maybe like high tier two or like low kind of whatever we have as like the second tier, kind of like the top of that. I guess would be kind of close to top of B tier or bottom of A tier probably.
Yeah.
But I also haven't like looked at every single team, so like I don't know where it's gonna end up falling.
Yeah, it could end up going down one, going up one, based on how things go. One thing I'm definitely excited to try though is solar powered discharge Heliolisk. That, like with life orb, sounds like not fun.
Heliolisk, yeah, solar power is quite good.
Yeah,
So we'll see how that goes. I mean, I think you could definitely put in a lot of work with that.
yeah,
Next to Garchomp, just clicking that plus Rock Slide should
yeah,
be very interesting.
yeah. A lot of
Yeah,
my plans
this is
in the
like
draft was
this feels like hyper offense if it was a VGC team.
yeah. My entire plan was just to remove as many counters to Zard Y as possible. That like still fit.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Going on to oh wait, you want to move on to Team Two? Take a
Yeah,
look at that one.
let's move on to that. Fun. I'm kind of still like, I think it's funny that they were able to get Staraptor as like the last Mon. You know?
That was kind of funny, just saving the 18 pointer for last.
Yeah.
I did like that, but
I forgot
so
about kind
um,
of.
so
Alright.
looking at Team Two,
Alrighty, I'm gonna.
Gliscor is good.jpg. That's a good team name. All right, so right off the bat, with this team, I think Espathra is like super underrated. I think
Yeah.
it's like kind of a degenerate Pokemon,
It's
not in like a
definitely
bad way,
steal.
but it yeah. It'll be really interesting. I think my only like my biggest concern is that to me Espathra screams out as a like speed pass, like Calm Mind speed pass, and then
As to who?
you pass it to like Raichu. I guess you could do Clefable, but Clefable can also just spam its own Calm Mind.
Yeah.
Um, I think
Maybe
it's like
Skeleturge? I don't know.
yeah, I this team it feels very defensive. Like the defensive capability of this team. Like this is the exact opposite of your team. I
Yeah.
feel like where it's one of those ones where it's like, wow, that's a lot of defense. How are you going to punch through this? And then you kind of reverse that and say, well, how is yeah, what's the offense? Which I think Staraptor obviously can be very strong.
Yeah.
Meowscarada is very strong. Mega Raichu Y is very strong.
It's like it could be a classic Rap team. I mean, my
Yeah.
only worry is kind of like outside of those two, you're not really gonna be dealing menacing damage. Like, given like there's no choice band, there's no choice specs, so like a lot
Yeah,
of these mons
yeah.
that could be dealing much more damage just can't. Like Meowscarada,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
normally enough to get by, isn't doing enough with that 110.
Yeah, and like Meowscarada is just like really frail, so it might you could probably trade one for one.
Yeah.
But I mean, like the defensive core is quite good. Having Skeleturge, Samurott is like I think decently bulky. It has some good defensive stats, and just being a water type is good. Corviknight can be just really hard to kill if you don't have a special attacker and it clicks Iron Defense. It's like all right, well,
Yeah.
GG, I guess. I'm really excited to see this Lipard usage. I think Lipard can be like sneaky good. Again, just anything with Prankster can
It's
just be
just
broken.
good.
So,
I mean, another thing I'm kind of looking at, I don't like the fake out users. Mega Rai, I don't believe is a real fake out user.
I think
And
does Lipard get fake out?
it does, but I feel like it would much rather run other things.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it might be like 4 Moonslots, like 4.
Yeah, like this thing's gonna want like Taunt. It's gonna want
Encore.
I think it probably gets one of the screens. It's
It
gonna
doesn't
want.
get screens, but it gets Encore.
Oh,
It gets
doesn't?
Knockoff.
Oh, Encore is really good. Oh, this gets Encore. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
It also does get. I think it gets Rain Dance at least. It does get Rain Dance, so it can as a just a
Showdown.
weather for any weather options. It might have space to run fake out, but definitely something to keep track of. It does get Yawn. I think a lot of things get
That's
Yawn.
actually
Thunder
really
Wave.
good.
Oh, it gets Prankster Thunder Wave. Oh my god.
Yeah, Meowstic gets it too.
Yeah.
That's also kind of why I wanted to get Meowstic. It's kind of
Mhm.
mini OG Grimmsnarl. But yeah, Thunderwave.
Yeah.
That's gonna be nuts.
I think for this team, I feel like Lipard could just end up being your MVP just because of how strong Prankster is.
Lipard is gonna have to do so much heavy lifting to get this offense in motion. I think if you can like
Yeah.
core lock something, you can just use that to get enough pace to like set up something, set up Skeletor's
Yeah.
special attack, get in a free Raichu switch, get Staraptor a
Hmm.
couple close combat boosts. Like Liepard is gonna be the reason this team works or doesn't work.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I think a Spothra too, because I think one thing that could, I think, is going to be really interesting. I don't exactly remember. Oh no, I'm thinking of. No, sorry, I'm thinking of what's that other stupid Pokemon from Scarlet Violet?
Mouthful?
Flamigo. I was
Oh,
thinking
Flamigo.
Flamigo. That's the
Sorry.
one that lets you copy your
Yeah.
teammates' boosts, right? Okay,
Yeah.
that's not a Spothra. Never. That's not what Opportunist is. Never mind. Okay. I
Opportunist
thought it would have been cool
is
if it was like
like
Star Raptor, you get like two close combats, and then Espathra
yeah.
copies that, but that's the other guy. So
Espathra
never
is
mind.
the opposing Pokemon.
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
So it's kind of like the mirror from last gen.
Got it. Um, so yeah, I think yeah. So regarding this team, I think it'll be might be tough to kind of get your offensive pieces, started, but you definitely do have uh
Has enough
good,
bulk to
a
go.
really really strong, good defensive core here that if you can play
Mm-hmm.
defensively really well, it might be hard to get to push damage
Yeah.
through. But
Yeah.
I am a bit concerned about the offensive output that
Yeah.
this team has.
And given this team actually has some pretty big highs and lows when it comes to defense. I mean, I'm looking at like the type matchup. It's super good to bug, super good to fighting, super good to grass and ground and psychic, but nothing resists rock. Like only two resist ice, where it's three weaknesses and one four times, and like you've got like two twos for fire, flying, and ghost, which could be a
Hmm.
concern in some matchup, especially like for that rock. Mega Aerodactyl could be some huge problems for this team.
Oh yeah, you don't have a rock resist. Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah, that might be kind of tough.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean, it's yeah. I feel like there's not really that many rock moves aside from like Rock Slide, obviously,
yeah. Maybe Stone
but
Edge because that's a contact move, so you get tough claws.
is Stone Edge contact?
I think it is.
Oh wow.
Stone
um,
Edge contact.
I guess like Meowscarada like barely counts as like probably shouldn't count to any of this just because Protean's such a weird ability,
Yeah,
but yeah.
it's not a contact move. I'm just larping it.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Um,
I like this team. I think it's like A B. I don't know.
yeah, I was saying, yeah, I'm not really good at like the ranking part. I think I just kind of like looking and kind of analyzing what I think a team will do. Um,
I'll
so
stick
I'll,
them
I'll
in.
probably leave like the actual like rank of where you would put it more up to you, but I'd be fine with B. I think.
Okay, B. Alright, let's do B. Cause like I'm stuck between those two. I think it could be either. Alrighty.
That's
The
fair.
next team, I think is gonna be our first S.
I love this logo, by the way, Turtle.
Okay.
I think you have a great team logo. It's very cute. Yeah, I was looking at this team. I'm just gonna say I think this is probably the S. Realistically, I think the Floette Goldango Garchomp core is like just super super
Yeah.
strong.
I don't know how they
This
got
team
away with
doesn't
this.
have a grass type, which is like I don't want to say a concern, but I would like to see like just a grass type to help with
Yeah.
defensively.
I mean,
Um,
if we look at like the defensive type matchup, it could benefit from an ice type, but at the same time, it would make this team's ice weakness much worse. This team is pretty weak to
yeah,
ice.
yeah, that's fair. I think I just think there's like so many really good options on this team. Like
Yeah.
you know, I sometimes I'm not the biggest fan of like when you have a Pokemon that like has one thing it does like Floette, but Floette is just so good at doing that one
Yeah.
thing, which is
You don't
clicking
keep
fairy
it. Yeah.
moves. That I can kind of forgive it. Like Charizard, it kind of does one thing, which is set Sun and click Heat Wave, but it does that so well that it's like
Yeah.
you can kind of just get away with it.
Yeah.
Alternatively, Gold has like 8,000 sets that it can run, so
Yeah.
like
It's pretty
Gold
flexible
is just like
draft.
so scary to deal with in any draft
Yeah.
situation.
I loved Ariados as a pick. That was a great pick.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was the Ariados is probably going to be like right after it taken is when I was going to take it, but the Staraptor and Blaziken picks I think are going to be pretty solid too. I mean, just Baton Pass on Speed Boost is going to be pretty good, and that helps with the that Garchomp speed tier when it drops it. So if you can get into a situation where you have like a +1 or a +2 Garchomp, in sand with the Hippowdon, like that Hippowdon pick for your Garchomp Sand Force.
Oh yeah.
That was just like that was a great low tier pick there to kind of give yourself that option.
And
Even then, Hippowdon's just so tanky, so hard to kill.
I love Clawitzer here too. I think it was a great last pick. I mean, the thing in Trick Room with Oranguru, there's like actually a not half bad Trick Room core here. Like,
yeah, and I think Oranguru is a really, really good Trick Roomer. It's like just having Inner Focus, being immune to fake outs, and even if you don't want to click Inner Focus or fake Trick Room, you do have that telepathy, so you can kind of have it next to Earthquake Garchomp, which is pretty nice. And I think it's not really that weak. It has what, like 105 special attack or something like that. Oh no, it's 90. No, and it's not as good as I thought.
But one thing I was thinking about, Instruct with Mega Floette could be something.
Yeah.
Just run it back again.
Instruct is a really strong move.
Yeah, I remember.
So yeah, I really like this. I would put this in the top tier. I would give this an S tier.
For sure.
Personally.
I remember for some reason I was kind of bored and I was like trying to prep against this. Like my best answer was either Gyro Ball Fortress or Growth Vile Plume. Those were the two that I was like between. So this one's definitely going to be like an interesting matchup for some. I think.
I think this is going to be a really tough team for a lot of people.
There's a couple weaknesses.
I just think, and
Sorry, what were you saying?
I was gonna say just because I think like Goldango right off the bat is just like such a good Pokemon. It has so many. It's just gonna do so much. So it's like, I don't know. It's a hard Pokemon to prep for. Looking at the type of weaknesses, I mean, a little bit weak to ground and ice. I feel like that's not uncommon. That's like that's pretty normal with like a lot of teams just because of how good ground and ice types are.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't worry too much about that. Just you're gonna that Staraptor's gonna have to do a lot of heavy lifting with these ground weaknesses.
I
think
could be a
it should
way
be
to
okay.
counter this team.
Gravity would be kind of funny.
Like Gravity and or even Trick Iron Ball. I could see that. that could be an even better way to keep your flying. Like maybe for my team, what I might end up running is like Meowstic Garchomp, like go Trick. I think Meowstic gets Trick, but like I think that's like for another time.
I'm sure it does.
I think another thing is that Staraptor's gonna have to do some heavy lifting on the speed control as well. I don't like.
I guess like
in all due respect, very slow. 102.
Yeah, I mean your fastest Pokemon is what, Floette at this point. Yeah, that I think that's probably the biggest weakness is just like the speed. There's, you have Oranguru as your speed control, which is really good, but Floette is just Floette's a bit awkward in Trick Room. Like you can obviously go minimum speed, but it's like
it's not enough.
Yeah, it's not really enough. And yeah, Staraptor, you do have the Tailwind, but Staraptor is not the most bulky. It's pretty frail, without the Mega, without the close combat boost that it gets from a Mega. So, definitely protecting that Staraptor is going to be a big deal to get those Tailwinds off.
Yeah.
There is also the Baton Pass Blaziken angle with trying to do that. But I think having two. Yeah, but having two speed control options with Morpeko, I'm pretty sure Morpeko gets fake out.
Yeah, Morpeko is a fake out.
Not mistaken. And also having Ariados as your
Ariados isn't half bad speed control with String Shot. And
it does get String Shot. You're right. String Shot now hits both, and it's a -2. So actually, never mind. Yeah, this team's speed control is probably fine in the long run.
Toxic
just because you do kind of have three options.
It's a lower speed by 2 and poison, but I think String Shot is a spread.
I think Toxic Thread is only one Pokemon. Oh no, it's only one Pokemon though. String Shot is both.
So yeah, I
So
think still it could be a concern, but it's got
yeah,
options.
yeah, definitely.
Uh,
So yeah, I would put this in S.
yeah, for sure. S. I think it's not leaving S for sure. Some might join it,
Yeah.
but alrighty. Next, this team by Igris, I think is how the name is said. Igris. I
Um,
don't know.
iGriggs VA.
Yeah,
Uh,
Igris.
yeah. So, with this one, Mega Metagross is just broken. Like, there's not
Yeah.
really beating around the bush for that. I think that's a super solid top four pick. Um, like honestly, I probably would have Metagross as like my number two, maybe three
Yeah.
pick if like, but it's just so strong. Like,
Hmm.
the only benefit you get is that it's a physical attacker, so you can just intimidate cycle it, and that's kind of some. But sometimes that's kind of
Yeah.
like your best bet.
I mean,
So
even
I
still,
really
you
love
have
that as
fucking
the
open intimidate with clear body.
well, once it megas though.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Yeah, you can't intimidate it until it after it megas and it
Yeah.
starts beating you down. So just such a good Pokemon. So I love that as like your first pick. I think that's a great first pick. Um, and then on top of that, this team, I think the speed on this team is pretty good because this. I think a lot of the Pokemon here work in both Trick Room and in Tailwind. Like Toxicroak is at a good speed tier. Rotom's at a good speed tier. Um, Even like the Sharpedo, I don't really know what's regular Sharpedo's speed. Sharpedo. Uh, I should know what normal Sharpedo's speed. I think it's like 90, right?
Yeah. I
Um,
think it is. I think it might be 80. It's 95.
it's 95 is
Yeah.
its base speed stat. So that's a little bit fast. So um, maybe not so much like in the same battle, but
Yeah.
you definitely have a like Trick Room team, and then you have a Tailwind team, which
Yeah.
is um can be really hard to prep for.
Yeah.
And you have two really good setters. Like I think Pelipper is a pretty solid Tailwind setter.
Yeah.
Um, there's not as much like rain synergies
Like a
as
Drampa, maybe.
uh, as you would like. I mean,
Yeah.
Drampa doesn't really benefit from the rain that much.
Yeah, not really.
I mean, I guess it can technically click Thunder, but
I'd say
I feel like I'd rather
Torpedo's
just click
the
like
best benefit.
yeah, Sharpedo is probably the best benefit. Toxicroak does get dry skin, which is kind of cool, but probably not enough to warrant, you know, going full on in rain.
Yeah.
But
feel
Pelipper is a solid tailwind setter, and then
feel
you
like
have so many like really good Trick Room guys. Like Golurk and Trick Room. Golurk's really strong. I mean, it has
Yeah.
what like 140 attack.
Yeah, 124 with Poltergeist.
120. Oh, sorry, I was looking at Mega
And
Sharpedo. Yeah.
Headlong Rush.
Yeah, Golurk
That's
is like
great.
really strong. Poltergeist is such a stupid move. It's
Yeah.
so stupid strong. Um, and yeah, no. So I really like this team. I like the options it has. I think you have really good Trick Room, a good Trick Room team and a good Tailwind team.
Yeah.
And then you just get to do Metagross things. And then we didn't even talk about Grimmsnarl, who just, I mean, Grimmsnarl also just gets to do whatever it wants.
Yeah.
Except Thunderwave, thank God.
I think the biggest thing that this team might have is that it wants to bring like too many megas to one matchup. Like it will struggle like picking between Metagross, Drampa, and Sharpedo in some matchups. I feel like I like two megas in a draft, but I think 3
Mm-hmm.
that's just too much.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty clear that Drampa is the Trick Room Mega. So when you
Yeah.
go with the Trick Room mode, you bring Drampa. When you go with the Tailwind mode, you bring Metagross.
Like,
And the nice
what
thing
about
is, I don't
Rain?
even think you need Tailwind when
Yeah.
you have Metagross. And I think like Sharpedo is probably fine when you want to do neither of those because it does get speed boost. So you just kind of spend a turn getting a speed boost, and a +1 Sharpedo is probably just faster than everything. I'm pretty sure you don't even have to run that much speed to outspeed, the um, the 150 speed tier.
My only
So I think it's probably okay. It's just it'll be hard to not want to just bring Metagross to a
Yeah.
lot of these matchups.
And I think especially for
So
Rain, it'll be a big thing because you're like, do you want the damage boost of Sharpedo or the better defensive utility of Metagross as it doesn't have to worry about its fire weakness anymore?
yeah, yeah. Um, but other than that, I do really like the Toxicroak pick. I think it's pretty solid. I had it on my radar.
Yeah.
I love the Hatterene pick.
Oh
I
yeah,
think Hatterene
Hatterene
is a
is
really good
amazing
Pokemon.
here. I love
Yeah.
Hatterene here.
Yeah. So definitely a really really solid team. Yeah, I guess my biggest concern is definitely I agree. Like, it's going to be hard to find spots to bring these megas, and I think a lot of that will just kind of also be because Metagross is so strong.
Yeah.
You might find yourself saying like, all right, might as well just bring Metagross this game, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, the defensive core of your team is really strong, and
Yeah.
honestly, like I'm seeing it, has a couple of weaknesses to Fairy, but like you have a Metagross, so it's like, does that really?
Cares?
Do I care that
You're
I'm
just
weak
like
to Fairy?
Iron-headed
I just
and Oko. And
yeah,
most of
like
these-
Metagross will kill any Fairy type instantly. So
And most of these
um,
Pokemon with like fairy weaknesses, they won't die from like a non-stab hit. Like even
Yeah,
the ones
yeah.
who might, like Mega Drompa's not dying to a Moonblast unless it's from Mega Floette, and Grimmsnarl has
Yeah,
screens.
yeah. Yeah, Grimmsnarl has screens. Appleton's pretty bulky in
Appleton's
terms of
bulky enough.
special defense. Yeah, so
I think he'll
yeah,
be
that's a pretty
fine.
good team. I like it. I also just like Metagross, so
Yeah.
I'm kind of leaning towards like A
Yeah,
range.
I think I agree too. A is probably best. But yeah, I think if I had to throw one last like benefit and one last nitpick, I love Rotom Heat here. I think it actually kind of fits pretty well with a lot of what's going on. I kind of like it as another secondary speed control option and kind of helps with the speed tiers a little bit. But I think if that was my one complaint, it's probably the speed tiers. 90s could be like, especially like 100s, could be pretty rough for this team as they can run very low speed and still outspeed like these 86s and 85s, allowing them to have
Yeah,
a
that makes
bit
sense.
more bulk.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, that's it. I think this team's great, all things considered. They're pretty solid. Alrighty. Next one up
Alright,
is
so next up
yours.
is my team. So
Alrighty.
I'll just kind of defer. But I can definitely talk about what my thoughts were. I did kind of put out my own draft analysis on this team, but my thought process behind this team was I think Archaludon is a broken Pokemon, so
Oh yeah, for sure.
I just built around Archaludon.
Yeah, you could definitely get away with that. I feel like, first of all, I'm kind of looking at this team. I love Archaludon here. I think it fits amazingly, and especially with the Mega support you have between Mega Meganium and Mega Swampert, I think it all together works awesome. And I do like Overquill as a Swift Swimmer as well. And I do think Decidueye and Skarm benefit a lot from the rain. Mega Meganium too. I would say my first thing is yes, it's a rain team, but I feel like there's too many water types. Like I don't know how to explain it, but I just feel like Palafin isn't coming to many matchups because then the question is, why not just bring Mega Swampert? I feel like
Yeah, no, I think that's very valid. There's a lot of overlap with Palafin and Mega Swampert. The thing is, definitely thinking was that Palafin would be kind of like if I wanted to go with the Mega Meganium
Yeah,
game
for
plan
sure.
instead, I don't have to lock myself into bringing, Mega Swampert. But I think that's a very valid point.
Yeah.
I kind of took Palafin, not expecting
Yeah,
Mega
Swampert.
Swampert to like fit onto the team, and then as I was going through the draft, it was like, wait a minute, like no one else is going into rain. People are using all their points. It's like I should be able to fit, this. So I might mess around with that, but
Yeah, like
yeah,
I
I just
definitely
I
feel
think
like, yeah.
I was just gonna say like but even at the end of the day, even if I do bring both Palafin and Swampert, it's one of those things where it's like not many things want to take two 150 base attack
Yeah.
wave crashes in the rain is so.
I don't think
But I think that's
anything
valid and
can. But yeah, I do like that. I love not Mega, just regular Medicham as a fake outer. I think it's one of the more underrated fake outers. That it can do some really solid damage, and still be like
Yeah,
a
and
threat with fake out.
yeah, no. I'm pretty excited to use this team. I think some big weaknesses that I identified was I don't have very much special bulk on this team.
I
I
think you
think
can get
I
away
think my
with
physical
it.
bulk is like pretty good.
Yeah,
Our Chaladon, Swampert, Skarmory,
yeah,
Palafin, super physically bulky, but their special defense stats are
yeah.
pretty not as great. So I have a couple guys that get light screen that I might have to rely on. um I'm pretty happy with my speed control.
Yeah.
One, I have a couple swift swimmers, I
I
have
have
two
some.
tailwind users,
Yeah.
I have a fake out user, and then
You have a
Jolteon
Trick
also
Room.
gets electro web.
Yeah,
um
Electro Jolt is pretty good, and Trick Room 2 Medicham could help in some matchups.
yeah, I think so, especially for those 70s. And the other thing is I have a lot of Pokemon at 70 speed, which
Yeah, and just
is,
overlap in
is
general. There's a lot of overlap. 85 and 82. Like, I feel
yeah.
like that could be a concern in like prep.
Yeah, I didn't put as much thought into the speed tiers as I would in like as if I did like a singles draft. But so definitely a lot of speed tier overlaps here.
Yeah,
And
and
anything in that kind of like 100 range, people can just run a lot more. Or but between that 100 and 130, people can just
oh
run
yeah,
a lot more bulk.
bulk.
So definitely one of those weaknesses is the speed tiers.
Yeah. Plus,
But
like
that's kind of why I wanted to make sure I had
yeah,
multiple tailwind users. So.
yeah. Plus, anything below 70 literally just doesn't have to care about speed and could just run bulk
Yeah.
as it kind of can just
Yeah.
accept. Well, I was never gonna outspeed anything anyway, so might as well run max HP instead of any speed investment.
Yeah, that's fair.
But besides that, I do like a lot of the Mons. I think they all actually work pretty swell together. And I would say this is going to be a pretty threatening team. I mean, I just can't really think of a Pokemon that can tank two wave crashes in all due respect.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
um,
Like,
there is a world where I tried to make Basculegion work on this team as well,
yeah.
but uh, that'd be tough. That's an expensive Pokemon,
Yeah, for sure.
but yeah, I mean, I think Palafin, having to switch it out is not trivial, but it's not like
It's not fun
the
in Draft
hardest
League.
requirement. Yeah.
Either.
And if I can get that out, then like I don't know. I think Palafin is just such a stupid Pokemon. It's
Yeah.
so absurdly strong. So I'm excited to use that. Never gotten to use our Chaladon before, and I think that thing also has like it has so many different ways you can build it,
Yeah.
which I'm excited for. One thing I wanted to get but I wasn't able to fit was a beat up user,
Oh, yeah,
and
for
do like a
sure.
side beat up into our Chaladon, but I didn't really
And
think there was any
body
beat up user that
press.
like fit
Either.
onto my team. It does get body press, yeah. So
It doesn't, unfortunately, I think, with Champs. They lost Body Crash, which I remember. But besides that, I mean, also what I like, something you don't see as much as regular VGC, but draft, this thing can run as a mixed attacker. Like, you
yeah,
can
it
go
has like
with,
105 attack.
yeah, it's actually a pretty solid one. Like, I've seen sets of, like, does this thing get Dragon Dance? No, it doesn't. But,
I don't think so.
it gets Breaking Swipe. Like, you could run this thing as, like, a
It gets
utility
Breaking Swipe. It
mod.
gets Iron Head. It gets Dragon Claw.
It gets I don't know if this thing's really that heavy, but it gets Heavy Slam. It also gets Stalwart, which is pretty good
Yeah,
in
that's true.
that.
It does get Stalwart. Everyone only. It also gets Sturdy, which is
Yeah,
nice. So I think it has three really good abilities.
yeah.
So
I think in the end of the day, like what I'm kind of seeing, a strong A tier. Like this is definitely
I'll
like a
take it.
prime
Take
example
it.
of an A tier team. Like there are definitely things that could be improved, but it's not like the end of the world. Like this
Mhm.
team will do fine, great, even with those like off weaknesses. Like really nothing super major. It's not like you have a glaring weakness. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it.
All right, cool. Let's look at Team 6. Uh, Generous Golden. This is a funny
Yeah,
profile. That's really
the
funny. I've
string
never seen
cheese.
that one. That's hilarious. I like it.
Alrighty.
Um,
I
oh yeah, this is
love
the
this
Sinister
team.
Milotic team. I really like this. I think this team with Mega. I think the Mega Dragonite pick on Team Six is so crazy good. I think uh, Dragonite with the Sinister Milotic. I love that.
Yeah,
I think that's awesome.
just turn this
Um,
thing to a bulky monster.
yeah, just having the hospitality and then having two life dew users.
Mhm.
Just it just gives Mega Dragonite so much survivability and keeps multi-scale online. Uh, so I think that could be really scary and really hard to deal with.
Could I
So
just
I'm
be
excited to see.
like blunt for a quick second?
Hmm.
Where the fuck is Tyranitar? Because you got two Sand Rush bonds and no Tyranitar.
That's actually a good point.
Like this
That's
team
pretty
looks like
funny.
maybe you drop Mega Dragonite and swap it for Tyranitar. Like I don't know. This team
Um,
feels like it needs
Maybe I'm gonna drop
Tyranitar.
Mega
Like
Pyro. I
yeah,
think you could probably drop Mega Pyro for Tyranitar. I guess you probably want a Fire type, but
yeah. I don't
um,
know. This team feels weird
yeah,
without Tyranitar.
I unfortunately don't really know what Pyroar is doing. I know it's pretty strong with Fire Main. I'm just wondering if you would prefer having like a Sunsetter, right?
Yeah.
Um,
But
I
I don't
think
know what you would
like
sunset to.
I think Excadrill can be fine without sand, especially because you can slap a choice scarf on it and
Mm-hmm.
just let it click Mold Breaker, Earthquake. I think that's
Yeah.
totally fine next to a Dragonite, or even next to a Sinistra.
Yeah.
I think Pyro just feels a
Clunky.
little bit not awkward, but I think you could get more value out of this Pyroar.
I feel like
How
what
much
would
was
be
Torkoal?
I feel like what would be a really nice idea is if you can somehow make that mega extra drill if it's still on the board, because I think that would
Sure it
actually
is.
be a bigger benefit to the squad in my opinion. Because Dragonite can
Mega
definitely deal
Excadrill
with
is
it.
quite expensive. It's only 2 more points. I mean, I don't know how
Yeah.
many points this team has.
How much is Mega
They
Pyro?
have, yeah, they're out of points. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think Mega Excadrill could be really good here.
Yeah.
Because you basically get the same benefit, but it's just stronger. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean Mega. Yeah, but the thing, how many points is Tyranitar? Tyr
I think is it taken?
Mega Tyranitar is taken.
But base is 15.
Tyranitar is. Oh, geez, that's quite expensive.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand why it didn't get taken, and then maybe they had the angle of taking Hippowdon, and that got taken.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, 15 points is quite a lot, so maybe they do have to go with manual sand.
Yeah. Which I
Um,
don't really like.
I think that's kind of also tough, is that the weather setters in general are all pretty expensive,
Yeah.
except for Hippowdon for some reason. Um, but yeah, I mean, I just feel like Pyroar definitely can still do a lot of damage. How many points was Pyroar actually? If it's
I
cheap,
think it was
then
14. No, it wasn't. It was like 13, I think, or 12.
it was 13 points.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know, and yeah, I mean, it could definitely work. I'm curious to see how what this team is able to do.
Just feels like it's
Um,
missing
I guess
something.
Pyroar is just strong regardless, and Espeon gets Sunny Day. Espeon's a pretty fast Sunny Day user. And the other thing is you also have Alcreme. Alcreme can just click Decorate, and then Pyroar is really fast. So I guess you can just do Decorate and then Pyroar Heat Wave, and then everything's gonna explode. So maybe you can make it work
Yeah.
without Sunny Day or without
Just
Sunsetter.
I don't know. Just something
Um,
feels off about this team. Like it's missing something. It's like got the pieces, but it feels like it's missing like the Pokemon to glue it all together.
I could see that.
Like
Yeah,
it,
I think I think for me it's like you have three really strong attackers. Like you have two strong special attackers and a strong physical attacker. I guess Espeon has 130 special attack, so
and then
three special attackers, one strong physical attacker, and then a bunch of support guys,
yeah,
right? Um, I do like. Uh, I like all. Yeah, I think you're right. I like all the pieces, but it feels like there's
Something missing.
something missing, but I don't know what it
Yeah,
is.
like it just feels like it needs like one of these like top tiers. Like I feel like a Gardevoir Mega would be nice here. Maybe even like Electros or Lucario, like something to bring like the big damage. Like it
Yeah,
all
I can see that. Like on, and it's kind of funny because this is like you need any weather setter, and I'm like, okay, that's that. Like,
yeah,
if you have rain, then Mega Dragonite spamming Hurricane is like, all right, that's
that's
it. If
good.
you have sand, then you have two Sand Rushes. If you have sun, then
Mega
Mega Pyro
Pyro.
or Heat Wave is like, oh god, what do you do about that?
And
So
even
it's kind of no,
snow.
yeah,
Like I wouldn't hate snow here because then you have just a team that refuses to die.
yeah, and you have the Sinistra and the Milotic getting to punish any Intimidate users, and then clicking
Yeah.
Life Dew. Um, yeah, I mean it has all the pieces, and I think this team has really good support. I think the
Yeah.
support is all there. I and each like sweeper is like a good Pokemon by itself, but I think it just needs a little like it needs one more piece. Each one individually
Yeah.
needs one more piece to really like push it over the edge, I think.
Yeah.
But all support, I really like all the support. I
Yeah.
like
The support's
Kangaskhan.
great.
Alcreme is like, I mean, Alcreme is just a
Amazing.
decorate bot, but decorate is stupid. Sinistcha and Milotic both very good. So
Yeah.
all the right support, good attackers, but it just,
Just needs the glue.
I think, yeah, I think the attackers are all are like a bit too disconnected.
Yeah.
You have like three strong attackers that all are trying to do something different.
Yeah. That's why I think it's the C tier. I think it's got
I
something going. It just needs like a move or two.
Yeah, I'm yeah. I mean, this team definitely can surprise us and show that hey, actually Mega Dragonite and Excadrill together just like delete things, and
Yeah.
I'm sure they will.
Color me
So
impressed.
I'm definitely definitely hoping to see what this team can do. Um, yeah, I might doing all the pods. I think Muizard wants to do all the pods. I might drop off after just yellow, unfortunately, but
Yeah.
just because I like talking about our pod specifically.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've got all the time in the world. I'll keep going if I need to. Or heck, I'll split this up into two streams. Get like yellow and I don't know, blue or white and today and then the other two tomorrow.
All right, so let's look at Team 7. Doom Desire VGC.
How did they get Mega Gengar at by 7th?
That's actually a pretty good question. I think
I mean, hey, I was able to get Garchomp and Aerodactyl back.
well,
So,
I mean, yeah, someone wanted to take the Raichu. I was pretty fixated on a Chaladon.
yeah.
So I mean, I could see it. A couple people just kind of focusing on a different team building thing, but yeah, Mega Gengar is just so strong. What's it? It has like what 150 special attack or something like that. Is it
170.
160? Oh my god, dude. It's funny because to me, Mega Gengar, I always think of as like, oh, it's broken because it has Shadow Tag, and then I sometimes forget that it also just has
Yeah.
130 speed and 170 special
And
attack,
it can just
and it's like
has insane coverage too.
it just deletes anything. No, Mega Gengar is very strong. So I think getting this at that pick is like crazy. You're right. Um,
Alrighty. I've already got a complaint here. Where's the
uh,
Ghost Resist? Every single like Pokemon
that is a
does not
great
want to
point.
take a Ghost hit.
You do not. Yeah, you do not have a Ghost Resist. That's gonna.
Hurt.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna hurt. You do, and also you just don't. This team doesn't really have great ways to hit back at Ghost types. Obviously, you have Gengar, but any redirection for Gengar is gonna be tough. Gengar also, I mean, any priority like
Sucker Punch.
Shadow Sneak. Are there any like psychic priority
No,
moves? I
no
actually can't think
psychic
off the top
priority
of my
moves,
head,
unfortunately.
but like Shadow Sneak is gonna hurt. Uh, so yeah, no Ghost Resist is gonna be really tough to deal with. I actually really like Vanillux. I think Vanillux is like kind of an underrated screen setter.
Yeah.
uh, like it's a bit slow. Obviously like Frostlass is kind of the best one, but
Yeah.
you're not always gonna get Frostlass. But I think like Vanillux being able to set its own screens and also click Blizzard, it has like what 115, 110 special attack.
110, yeah.
Those Blizzards are still gonna hurt, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, uh,
I don't get Mega Chimecho here. I don't get what it does.
Mega Chimecho's a Trick Room setter.
Uh, but still, I don't get what this team does in Trick Room. I mean, yeah, you got Mega Chimecho and Mudsdale, but that's
The play is beat up Lucario into Stamina Mudsdale in Trick Room clicking Body Press. Um, but I mean, yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, this team, nothing about other aside from Mega Gengar. There's unfortunately, no Pokemon that's like really like. Oh, I guess, I mean, I don't really know what the synergies are. I don't see one that's like immediately standing out to me. Um, I do like Chimecho. I think it's actually like
oh,
a pretty. I mean, how many points is it? It wasn't very
oh,
many
I think I see
points.
something at the least. Mudsdale, Rotom Wash, Disquake. That's something.
That's pretty good. Yeah, Chimecho is 9 points. I think like for 9 points, Chimecho's pretty bulky. It definitely has some pretty good utility moves. It does get to do Trick Room, but yeah, I mean, no real like big Trick Room sweeper that's kind of standing out to me.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, the redirection with Scovillain is really solid with the Gengar to help protect it. Um,
Maybe
but
some coaching too. Could be nice for like D Knight.
hmm yeah, coaching's a really good move. Um, I really like, honestly, one of my favorite picks on this team is Infernape. I think
Oh
Infernape is
yeah,
super, super good.
for sure.
That was on, I had it on I wanted to grab Infernape. Good fake out user. I think it has a really good speed tier.
It is good damage
Being able
too.
to run it mixed, has some good priority moves. Has really good utility moves. Just kind of like, fast taunt. So I do really like the Infernape pick. I really like the Mr. Rhyme pick. I think Mr. Rhyme is really funny. It
Yeah.
does kind of feel like it might have a bit of anti synergy with the Vanillux because
Yeah, for
I feel like
sure.
this team with Vanillux to me says I'm setting up Aurora Veil, and
And I'm
then your
just
Mr.
sitting.
Rhyme pick is to remove those screens. Um, but honestly, you could bring it in and you'd have the sickest Ice Body Pokemon of all time.
Oh
And
yeah.
um, but yeah, I think uh, I'm struggling a little bit to see kind of what the main goal with this team
Yeah.
is, and I definitely am excited to see what is this team.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm.
I think really this team just needs one more big damage dealer. Something to like
Yeah,
force certain Pokemon in that Mega Gengar can just trap. That
yeah,
would
I think that makes
fix
sense.
the team.
Yeah, like right now, Gengar is kind of doing a lot of the offensive lifting.
Yeah. It's kind of
Like
doing all of
Mudsdale
it
and
at the same
Dragonite
time.
are can definitely be pretty strong, but the biggest thing I can think about regarding this team is Vanillux is your only spread damage user, which
Does Wizard Mega
was also a pretty big weakness of my team, I think. Now that I'm remembering, but Vanillux can click Blizzard, which is good, but you don't really have other like spread moves, right?
Yeah, really
I
your
guess you
only
have
spread move
Rotom
is
Wash and
Blizzard.
Discharge. I guess
Rotom
there's
is
Earthquake and Discharge, so maybe that's wrong.
yeah, but like Mudsdale Earthquake, the only thing you can click it next to is like Rotom Wash and D Knight, which actually that's enough.
Yeah.
But Discharge,
Well, actually, no, you do. No, you do have the Chimecho.
oh
Actually,
yeah,
now that I look at it, like you have 3 ground resists or 3 ground immunities, which might be just enough for Mudsdale to click Earthquake. Like,
but like
and
Earthquake
Mudsdale can be
and
pretty hard to remove.
yeah, but I feel like Earthquake from a Mudsdale, in all due respect, might not be doing enough damage that this team needs.
No, I think that's very valid.
I think if Choice Band was here, we would have a whole different story. But
I think yeah, no, I think that also makes sense. Yeah, because if you had Choice Band, you can run Choice Band Dragonite, Choice Band Mudsdale, Choice Band Lucario, um,
even like Choice Band
Choice Specs
Brand,
Vanillux. Yeah, yeah. Um, But I do really like. I mean, I like a lot of the individual Pokemon on this team.
Yeah.
It just is. I think kind of similar problem with last team. It's like I'm not really sure what the goal is with the team, because to me I feel like VGC is like who can do their degenerate thing first,
Yeah.
and I'm not seeing anything very like degenerate here.
Besides Mega Gengar. Mega Gengar's it.
Yeah, besides Mega Gengar.
Yeah.
But honestly, Mega Gengar is so strong that it might be enough.
Yeah.
So
That's why I feel like this team is C tier. I think
I'm good scare.
I think maybe with like one or two transactions, this thing could easily jump to A. Like, just
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
find that offensive piece, and you're golden.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Next team. Oh God. Oh.
Let's see.
God.
Oh, the Annihilate Mousehold team.
Oh God.
I was really excited to see this team because I really liked Mousehold Annihilate, and then I learned that Annihilate Rage Fist doesn't carry over, and also it lost Final Gambit.
Yeah.
And
I don't think
now
it's a
I'm
good first round pick, but I still think it's gonna do enough. I mean, it actually has like good enough coverage where I think a draft, like, it's not the end of the world.
I mean, I think right off the bat, Annihilate Mousehold is. I think that's just like I literally just said it. Who can do their degenerate thing first? And Mousehold Annihilate is degenerate. Like,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what you need when you're, you know,
Oh.
trying to build something. So I really like the Mousehold Annihilate. Almost back to back picks. I think that's so cool. Mousehold is, I think Mousehold's a really good Pokemon. I mean, Friend Guard is just so strong. Heck, one of the few Follow Me users. A really good speed stat. Super Fang. Taunt. And then you could just come out one day and be like, actually, I'm just gonna click Technician Population Bomb with Wide Lens, and good luck.
Yeah.
You don't resist this, all right? Good luck, right? So,
But I feel like this team is a Trick Room team. Like, it's got
yes,
that, and then it's Trick Room.
yeah. I think the goal of this team is, definitely make use of Annihilate and Mousehold beat up, and just generally like Mousehold being a really good support Pokemon. It's probably one of the better support Pokemon in the game right now.
Yeah. Like, it and win.
But yeah, I think Aromatisse gets Trick Room and Klefki, I'm guessing, are the two
Yes.
Trick Room setters.
Aromatisse is the main Trick Room setter, though, I feel. Because Aroma Veil, it gets, which
Prevents
on core.
right.
So
that's
really the
what it
only
is.
way to stop this thing is with like a fake out. Which
Yeah,
is pretty
yeah,
easy
yeah.
to stop. You can just protect turn one. And then
Yeah.
Trick Room.
Dude, I always forget what some of these like quote unquote useless abilities do.
Yeah. I think
Taunt so this is basically like it has a mental herb effectively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
think
Okay, I always forget because there's like Aurora Veil or Aroma Veil, and then there's like Sweet Veil or whatever
yeah.
like the Rabombi line has that I always forget. So, but no, yeah, I completely agree. This is a really strong Trick Room team, and kind of going back to, what are your what once you set up that Trick Room, what do you do? And you have Tyranitar Mega, really strong. Torterra, like this Torterra's pretty strong. It has
but I
what
don't know if it's
100.
strong enough in Trick Room. I think it wants to use Shell
Yeah,
Smash.
because it definitely wants to use Shell Smash. It couldn't use Growth, but even then, Torterra's pretty slow. Even a Shell Smash, I think, is like viable in Trick Room. I want to see how
Speed
fast
puts
it
it up
gets.
to
If it's-
140, which outspeeds max
That's-
speed
that's still-
75.
um,
Yeah,
how are you?
outspeeds-
You're seeing it on. Oh, I see. Yeah, so if you're like 0 speed, yeah, 76, 142. Sorry, 152. I mean, that's slower than
max speed
yeah,
and
base of
Island.
hundreds. Yeah, so I think I agree. Yeah, that one might be tough just because it feels like Portero wants to Shell Smash, which kind of goes against the Trick Room team. Aggron Mega, I think, is a good
Yeah, Aggron.
great
does it
Trick
get
Room
body press?
Pokemon. Yeah,
It has to.
I like the Drampa pick. Does Aromatisse get Heal Pulse?
Let me check.
Does Klefki
Actually,
get Heal Pulse?
No, I know Klefki doesn't. But
Because with Drampa and Trick Room, that also can be a pretty good strat where you set up Trick Room, Drampa maybe goes down to half, and then now Aromatisse underspeeds the Drampa, clicks heal pulse, gets it back up to the health, and you kind of cycle that
It does.
berserk. Uh, and then at the same time, Drampa also is a Cloud9 user. Sometimes Cloud9 in draft is like really underrated.
Yeah.
With all the sand or with all the weather going on.
But it could be
So that could be a good way.
T-Tar.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're gonna bring T-Tar, then you just don't bring Cloud9, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
But if like you feel like you're gonna struggle in a matchup, like you feel like Charizard Y is tough to deal with, which I think this team is definitely a bit weak to Charizard Y aside from the T-Tar, but
I think this team
if you
Garchomp.
that's true too. Garchomp.
This team
Yeah, Garchomp. Yeah.
Analysis.
Yeah. Annihilate does get Ice Punch, but yeah, no, that's a good
I
point.
think the Yachi Berry.
I really like the Scrafty pick. I think Scrafty's a really strong Pokemon. I don't know how I feel about Toxapex. Yes, for sure. It's definitely better than Sin. I don't know how I feel about Toxapex. I know Wolf got like 3rd or 4th at a tournament. Third pick Toxapex though. I'm not crazy about it, but maybe I just don't. I don't know I'm not ready. I'm about to get boomed by a Toxapex, so.
Remember, kids, just because Wolf used it doesn't mean that it's the new meta.
But no, I mean, yeah, definitely if Toxapex could surprise me and do a lot. But yeah, I like a lot of the Pokemon on this team. Annihilate Mousehold I really like as a core, even if Annihilate got pretty nerfed.
Yeah.
I think Klefki is so annoying.
Klefki
I mean, again,
like
every Prankstermon is annoying. Scrafty's a great pick. T-Tar is great in Trick Room. Aromatisse and Aggron. I just feel like I really like every pick on this team.
Yeah. I think my
only downside is that Annihilate was just nerfed. If this was like Scarlet Violet and Annihilate, I would give this an easy S tier in my opinion.
Yeah, S tier, A tier. I think my only other worry is really I don't like that you're relying on Drampa as your Trick Room sweeper. I feel like it's not bulky enough, or B, you're like stuck between one of your megas. Like you can't use both.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think T-Tar, even with the stone, I think T-Tar can definitely work. Like I think Aggron is one that like you almost like if you're bringing it, you have to mega it. T-Tar, I feel like you don't have to mega it in a battle for it to like do something. So I'm like, if you're going to have this double mega Trick Room thing, I think T-Tar is one of the better ones, just because T-Tar without his mega is already pretty threatening.
Yeah.
So I think that's okay. Yeah, I'm also a little bit concerned about the Torterra angle. Its damage outputs. I guess it does get Headlong Rush, right?
Yeah, it gets Headlong Rush, and I think it gets. What does it get?
Also
it gets
does have
Bullet Seed, but
Bullet Seed. It gets Woodhammer. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, Woodhammer. I think would probably be your best. But I don't know if I like that on kind of what's basically a suicide set.
Yeah. I'm wondering if it has other ways to. I know it gets growth, but growth outside of Sun, might not be worth it. Oh, it does get Curse. Oh, Curse with Shell Armor is pretty good.
Yeah, Curse with Shell Armor.
Sorry, does Aromatisse get Heal Pulse? Did you confirm that? That feels really good. I think Curse with Aromatisse Heal Pulse. I actually really like that. That could be fun. Yeah. I think that's really interesting.
Actually, I think as we talk about this more, I feel like I'm more and more convinced that this is A tier.
This is like bordering S tier for me, personally. I genuinely think if this was pre-nerf Annihilate that still had Final Gambit and still had full power Rage Fist, I would put this in S tier.
Yeah. I think maybe it's just a me thing. Like I just don't like hard Trick Room and draft, especially without.
That's so fair.
Like it's just not my thing. I like hyper offense.
I think that's valid. I think that's so valid. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So like I can definitely see why this is like AS, but like for me it just feels a little uncomfortable and clunky.
I think that makes sense. I think when you know that Trick Room is like coming, it's a lot easier to be ready for.
Yeah. But yeah,
I think just a lot of a lot of really good picks, a lot of really solid guys here.
Alrighty.
All right,
First of
moving
all,
on to Team 9.
awesome team logo. Peak.
Yes, I like
PSP.
this one. I like the silly MS Paint drawings. All right, let's see.
We put this in.
Mega Kangaskhan, Talonflame, Primarina Scizor, Alola, Gengar, Samurai Hisui,
I don't know
Mega
if I like
Steel.
Trevenant here. Like, just without even looking at anything, I don't know if I like Trevenant.
Um, this is an interesting team. This team definitely. Hmm. Okay. Obviously, Talonflame is really good. I like
Yeah.
Mega Kangaskhan. Good speed. You know, your team is pretty fast. Having the Talonflame,
And it's got like
having
okay
Raichu,
speed
Gengar.
gaps.
Yeah, double fake out users. Pretty solid. Um, hmm.
Kind of
This team.
feels.
This is like. It feels really like almost like a balanced team where you don't really have like that one true guy. Like you don't have like the guy. You just have a
Yeah.
lot of like really solid Pokemon
Pieces.
that can
Yeah.
all do something. Like Mega Kangaskhan's obviously so strong. Primarina Scizor, Gengar Gallade, all of them can do respectable damage. So I think this team will be. This team is this is a team that I think is going to be hard to prep for because this is one where going into it, it's like, man, I don't know what the plan is, right? But like in this case, it feels like it's actually kind of good because it's not so much that like you're looking at it, it's like, what do these guys do? It's like, man, all these guys can do something,
Yeah.
and I don't know what they're gonna do to me this week. So I kind of like that from a draft perspective.
I do like that part as well. It's definitely very flexible, but I feel like if you know what this team is doing, it can fall apart. Like if you can somehow crack the code, like even just a little
Mm-hmm.
bit, this team kind of loses a lot of its gas because it can't end up
Yeah,
falling back to that guy because that's like what the
yeah,
perfect
yeah,
balance
yeah,
teams are. Like it can fall back to that one guy.
yeah. And I think there are, you have the Talonflame for Tailwind, and I think Primarina Scizor can definitely work in Tailwind. I think you need, Primarina, it is pretty slow, but with Tailwind with double speed, you don't need too much speed to get it to be pretty fast. I think what are 130? 130s hit like about 200 ish, so you don't need too much speed to hit to outspeed 130s.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think this team can definitely work with the Tailwind. Primarina and Scizor, namely.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Trevenant gets Trick Room, right?
Yes, it
Um,
does. I
so you
remember
have
running
So Trevenant and Gallade as your Trick Room
and
setters for
Gengar
the
too.
Primarina, for the Scizor, for Mega Steelix. I'm really interested to see how this Samurott Hisui works.
Yeah.
I think whatever its stupid Dark type move is called.
Oh,
What is it
Cecil's
called?
Edge. Like,
Cecil's Edge. That could be interesting to see how you can make use of it. Um,
um, there's like one thing. I mean, as I used to do this like low tier draft league, I had Trevenant. The thing can do some like pretty good damage. Plus, with like
mhm.
Harvest, this thing can like refuse to die.
Yeah,
Like,
I think you do kind of want it with Sun though if you're going to be
yeah,
running Trevenant for Harvest. It does get Frisk, which like
Frisk.
Frisk is very valuable in closed team sheet, so I'll give you that one. Um, yeah, I think it's kind of a similar thing where it definitely feels like because you don't have like that one like guy to fall back on, it's gonna be hard. I think uh, to really just like generate enough offensive pressure. Like
Yeah.
right now, Primarina and Gengar are your only like special attackers.
Right.
So if you were to run into a decent steel type that has
Yeah,
team
Steel
the
type.
team might struggle against like a Corviknight, right? Like what is the team gonna do against Corviknight? I feel like.
Alolan Raichu.
Um,
But
yeah, you
like,
have the Alolan Raichu.
I don't think it's
Um,
doing enough. I think
yeah,
like
I'm worried about this team's offensive pressure in general.
yeah.
I think you have a lot of like solid guys that can do damage, but sometimes, I think this team needs like the big one, like the one that can just say like deal with this or lose. Like that's the type of Pokemon this team is missing, right? At
Yeah,
least I think that's my takeaway for this.
I definitely agree. I mean, my only other thing is like, I don't know. I just feel like Kangaskhan is probably the closest to that guy. I mean,
Hmm.
but besides that, I feel like this team, like it can get walled hard.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like if it's forced into like a certain pace, it just will lose. I mean, like,
Yeah, this team. I am also seeing it um doesn't have a dragon type, which is kind of interesting. So like, I think it has like a good, it has so many types that are all able to like cover for themselves.
yeah,
Um, but like a strong dragon type might just be able to come in and just like click moves, right?
yeah.
Um,
Also,
like
4 weeks to Ghost, kind of concerning.
that. Yeah, no, that's fair. Ghost types, yeah.
I mean, yeah, you have the immunity and the resistance, but I still feel like Ghost can come in pretty free.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But
But
besides
I
that,
mean, I think overall it does have very good type coverage. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
that's a lot of green numbers.
Yeah,
You know,
and like the Reds are low.
one, yeah, the reds are low and not very many, and that's a lot of greens on
Yeah,
there. So a lot of immunities. Wow, that's actually a lot of
yeah.
immunities.
One,
So
two,
maybe this team is this maybe this team's gonna get away with being balanced enough where
mhm,
you just cover all
like all the
cover
possible
all the
matchups.
weaknesses of your team.
Yeah,
So I think this team can definitely do it.
yeah,
I think it'll be just tough to make to pilot this team.
yeah. It's gonna be a
Um,
tough pilot, but if it's piloted well, which I think Ryu could definitely do, it'll be super rewarding.
yeah, yeah. I think that's a valid take.
That's why I think it's like B tier. I think
Yeah, I think that's okay. Yeah.
I think B tier, but with like, I don't know. I don't know if you can make it an A in just like 1 or 2 moves. It might need a little bit of restructuring, but the idea is solid.
Mm-hmm. I think that makes sense. All right.
Alrighty,
This one was next was
let's see this. We got the Espathra Outsiders. Oh,
speaking of having that guy on your team. Here's Mega Delphox.
yeah.
um.
And next to
Okay.
Sableye. Ugh.
Mega Delphox with Sableye, and you have a Kingambit Vivian, and you also have a Sylveon.
This team.
This
is
team's
gonna,
got some guys on
yeah.
it.
This team is gonna overwhelm with special pressure. But first thing,
Yeah,
I'm a type chart guy.
yeah.
Fairies roll through this team. Like
Yeah, I don't think this team. I mean, your fairy resist is
Delphox.
Delphox, and that's it. Yeah, I mean, you do have the Gambit that can just click Iron Head on any fairy, but then maybe that's not enough.
I don't
Delphox. I
think
mean,
it's enough.
Delphox is. Yeah, Delphox isn't the most bulky, so yeah, fairy types are. Yeah, no, you're right. Fairy types are kind of gonna run over this team. I guess it helps that you took Sylveon, which is
Yeah.
definitely one of the better ones, and
Probably
no one
the
has
best
Mega
fairy type
Gardevoir.
that isn't called Mega Floette.
Yeah. I mean, Mega Gardevoir is also there, but no one took Mega Gardevoir, and that would be a Mega slot. But
Yeah. I don't think
yeah,
the
no,
teams in
Sylveon.
retrospect have good enough like fairy to really solve this.
Yeah. This team definitely going to struggle if a team just kind of has a fairy type
Yeah.
that gets to click moves. Um, actually, the Mega Gengar team, they don't have a fairy. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
That's probably gonna be tough for them.
Um,
Um,
I also kind of feel like Sableye is gonna have 4 move slot syndrome. It just has to do so much. It's gotta.
yeah, does Sableye? I don't think Sableye gets Sunny Day, right?
I think it does. I know it gets Rain
Oh
Dance.
wow, it gets Rain Dance. I know that. I'm not sure. Yeah. Um.
It.
Yeah, I
does
mean
get
this
Sunny Day.
team. Okay, that's pretty good then. This team definitely has a lot of really strong Pokemon. I really like the Vivian pick
Yeah.
as your redirector.
And
Friend
Guard.
Guard next to Delphox is going to be hard to deal with. Compound Eyes Sleep Powder is kind of toxic, but it'd be like that.
I don't even hate
Um,
Quackleval here. I think with Moxie, I
hmm
think could be a good cleaner if like you can chip a lot
Yeah,
of stuff, which I think Sylveon does a great job at doing with Pixelate Hyper Voice.
yeah, Sylveon just clicking like Sylveon and Delphox just clicking Hyper Voice and Heat Wave, like that's gonna be really hard to deal with.
Yeah,
So I really like that. Um, it just that fairy weakness is gonna be very not too concerning, but
could
definitely
be
you're
a
gonna have to be
problem.
careful. I think fortunately I'm actually looking back and there's actually not that many good fairy types.
Yeah,
Like the last team has Primarina is really good. Uh, the last team has like Klefki and Aromatisse, which aren't that strong.
yeah.
Team Seven doesn't have a fairy type. This team has Alcreme, which not the strongest. Um, so not every team has like a super powerful fairy type. Your team only has Tinkaton, which is a physical and can only hit one thing at a
Yeah.
time.
And all
So
due respect, it
maybe
isn't
you
going to
can,
be doing anything.
so maybe you could get away with it, but
Yeah. I mean, I think
it's
it's the
it's
best case scenario to have if you have a lot of weaknesses.
um yeah, you're gonna be relying on that King Gambit a lot to deal with the fairies. Is I think the big deal. But Vivian having a redirection user is really good. It pairs really well with the King Gambit. I don't know how well it pairs with the Delphox though,
Because Rock
but I think
Slide.
that's totally fine. Um, right, yeah, like Delphox and Vivian are gonna be probably not the best pair, just because Rock Slide, um, or just clicking a strong water move, strong ghost move. But the King Gambit and Vivian that's a really really good
Yeah.
pair there. Being able to redirect any
And I think,
ground moves, any fighting moves.
I'm pretty sure Vivian gets a Pollen Puff.
I think you're right. I think it
Yes.
does. Yeah.
And that would actually be really nice for this team, too. Being able to heal up, like King Gambit, heal up Sylveon,
Mhm.
even heal up Como. I think Como actually pairs really well, too. Because actually, you
Yeah,
can
I really
set
like
up the Clangorous, what's it called? Like,
Clangor Souls or
yeah, Clangorous Soul.
Clanging Scales or whatever it's
Yeah.
called.
And then,
I
like,
don't
just
remember which is
constantly
which.
heal the thing up.
And you have Friend Guard,
Yeah.
and then if you have soundproof, then you can't use yeah, no, I think that'll be cool. Yeah, I like the Como. I really like Sylveon. I think Sylveon's a really strong Pokemon. I do really like this team.
I think,
I think really the big thing is just that fairy weakness.
yeah.
Um,
Plus, I feel like Lopunny might have to come a lot as his team Fake Outer because Sableye
yeah,
can't run Fake Out. Like, it's not
yeah,
bulky
yeah,
enough,
that's fair.
and it's too busy doing other things. Like, it's either setting
Yeah,
screens, it's either doing sun, it's either encoring, it just,
yeah,
or thunder waving. It doesn't, it can't.
yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of Lopunny. Just, I mean, it's fine because it's a fake out user. Sometimes you just need one. And I think at this point in the draft, they were running out of points, so they were looking for cheap guys.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those. Yeah, you'll just take what you can get. Um, I hate to say it, I have no idea what this Lycanroc does.
Oh, yeah.
I think
It was just like a
I think
last.
Midnight Lycanroc is kind of bad, but just gotta get what you can get. I think your core is on this team is very solid.
Yeah,
I really
I like this.
your first 7 picks, I'm all like, yeah, those are all guys.
This, and then if you could find a way to, like, fix this bottom three, S tier.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe
all
like
the way
another
through.
steel type, right? Definitely could use another steel type.
I think
Maybe even another
maybe
fire type.
I think Lopunny has to stay, but like Leafeon and Lycanroc, if you can make that a steel and a fire, I think you've got
Yeah,
actually something pretty okay.
yeah, or even like an intimidate user could be solid here.
Maybe
Because I think
maybe
your team is. I mean, looking at your
to be honest, does this
yeah,
team even need Sableye?
I mean, I don't think it needs Sableye. It's just kind of one of those like Sableye just can do a lot of stuff, right? Sableye is so hard to prep for, obviously,
Yeah.
because you either need a fairy type move or you just kind of cry.
Yeah.
um, so I just kind of like it as a Pokemon, but yeah, I think King Gambit's a really good pick too.
Yeah.
So I like the team. Not a huge fan of the last three, and I think definitely you could find another Steel type or a Fire type. Um, maybe an intimidate user,
Yeah.
maybe a better way to deal with fairy types.
I don't
But
know. I
definitely
think
there's some
either
stuff
A.
there. Yeah, I would say like high B or low A, like top of B or bottom of A.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I would be thinking.
I'll definitely probably
I
move
know you're not
stuff
like
around as we
actually.
go.
Yeah, I know you're not like actually like ordering them within the tiers, but
Yeah.
that's kind of what I would be thinking.
Yeah, for sure. And the
I think you're
last
probably going to
one.
B.
Yeah, B.
Last team. This team, Fishy. This is another hard trick room team. Taking Incineroar at the very end is very funny. I do really like that. You're just taking a bunch of cheap guys and it's like, oh, I guess I'll take Incineroar at the end.
Even
Um,
still, like, as as someone who's played Draft League a lot, and especially like Scarlet Violet Draft League, I can't trust Incineroar in draft. Like I know it does a lot, but it feels like it's one tricked pony too much.
it's always just so expensive for doing the same thing. But
Yeah.
um,
But
I
like,
think between the Trick Room teams, I do think this is probably a better Trick Room team. For one, you have three fake out users, which is like really going to help you get that Trick Room up all the time. I think it's going to be really hard to like deny Trick Room against this team.
oh yeah, for
You
sure.
have two really bulky Trick Room users in Musharna and Slowking. Um, and like there's some strong guys like Hydrapple. I know it has that stupid like Fickle Beam, which is like
Oh yeah, pretty good.
kind of a
And
stupid move.
I like Mega Scrafty and Trick Room.
Yeah, Mega Scrafty's really strong.
Same with Mega Bombs
Kelder
now.
is crazy
Yeah.
strong. Um,
Um,
this team does have three fighting types, so
and a
I think this
lot
also
of
kind of runs into that.
weaknesses.
Like, yeah,
A
this is
lot of
another one that's like
flying.
super weak to
A
fairy.
lot of fairy
You
and
have
no resist dragon. No steals.
yeah, you have one flying resist,
Who kind of gets
um,
blown over by like
no
any
dragon
coverage.
resist. Yeah, so this is I think gonna be another one where it's like you get up trick room and then your goal is to run over the opponent before you
Yeah, run
lose.
over.
Um,
I
yeah,
think I don't know. I feel like even though Incineroar is here, I don't think it's doing much because I
I
feel like
I'm kind of surprised that this team didn't take Mega Gardevoir.
oh
Like I
yeah,
saw that this person was gonna have 18 points, and they were a trick room team. I thought for sure they were taking Mega Gardevoir.
yeah, take Mega
Like
Gardevoir and min speed it. That thing helps
yeah,
you way more
I
than Incineroar ever could.
I personally think you don't need Incineroar on this team. I think you already have Sneasler and Mega Scrafty.
Yeah.
Um,
But I think
personally, I think if this team had Mega Gardevoir, I would probably put it in A.
yeah. But I
Um,
think also at the same time, then you'd have like three psychics. This team is too much overlapping on types. Like, do you really need two
that
ice
that does
types?
give you like a lot of ghost weaknesses then too.
Do you
Yeah, I
need
mean,
a
what's
lot
your
of
ghost
psychic?
weakness?
Do you need fighting all these fighting types? Do you need all these dark types? Do you need all these fire types? Like this team is overlapping so much that is missing so many key types. There's no fairy, there's no flying, no ground, no steel type. Like this team is missing a
Oh, there's no
lot.
steel type. Ooh, yeah, this team could really use a steel type.
Yeah. This team could use a steel. This team could definitely use a ground. Even a fairy. Like I think
Yeah, I think one thing I would really like to see also is and I don't know how the points work out, but if instead of Ceruledge you had Chandelure,
yeah,
because
Chandelure
that gives you
Mega.
another special attacker that gives you the same typing and also gives you another Trick Room setter that's not a psychic type.
Also,
Like if you did like Chandelure instead of Ceruledge, Mega Gardevoir instead of Incineroar, and then like Slowking or Rusharna you swapped out with like a Steel type. Um,
but I don't want
I
to
think
rely
like I don't know
triple
what Steel
on
types.
Musharna though.
Musharna is a pretty good trick. Like Musharna is a Trick Room bot. I think.
Yeah.
Like I think it clicks Trick Room. It clicks Moonlight. Just kind of spam
Sits there.
Psychic and Dazzling Gleam.
I don't like Mega Bomb
But
Snow here.
I think it's
really don't.
yeah, it kind of just yeah. I'm wondering what Obama Snow does here, right? I think
It's Blizzard
having
spam.
Veil is nice, but
I think it's more for the
I'm not
Blizzard
sure.
spam though.
Yeah,
In Trick Room, but like,
Blizzard spam with Rotom could be kind of kind of cool.
I don't
Um,
know if you need like two Mullins to do that. Like I don't know. Mega Bonus Snow just feels like besides that, it kind of just can't really do much. Cause
Crafty, right? Um, oh, uh-oh.
what happened?
Oh,
Am I?
sorry. Am I still here? Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think I lost connection for a second.
Oh, good.
Oh, I think. Oh, maybe you. Oh, I see. OBS. I think maybe you dropped for a second, but it's
Yeah, I
fine.
think I might have dropped for a
Um,
second. My Wi-Fi's a little
yeah,
buggy.
no worries.
Uh,
Um, yeah, I mean, like, I like the idea with this team. I agree. I think there's a bit too much overlap. I think you have too many physical attackers. I mean, looking at the breakdown, you have Sneasler, Scrafty, Saraledge, Conkeldurr, and Incineroar are all your physical attackers, and then your only real special attacker is Mega Abomasnow and Hydrapple.
yeah.
So I think replacing. I mean, let me see where Saraledge is compared to Chandelure.
They're same
Saraledge is
tier.
11. Chandelure's 8. So like, or sorry, that's even Mega Chandelure. Like normal Chandelure is 6, and I think it does almost the same thing as normal as Saraledge that you want, but gives you a special attacker instead,
And it
which I
gives you
think
like
is kind of what
3
you're
points
looking
of
for.
flexibility.
And that gives you, yeah, that's an extra even 5 points. I agree. I think this team definitely wants a steel type. Um, uh, so I would like, even like Mega Mawile could be really good here.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Just to
Like
give you
Mega
like
Mawile.
like on it. Wait, yeah, actually, Mega Mawile will go crazy on
Yeah,
this
like
team.
hold on. Switch Mega Scrafty. How much is Scrafty
No,
Mega?
yeah, I mean, yeah,
And then
Mega Scraft. I mean,
Twilight.
how much is Mega Scrafty?
And then Mega Mawile. Mawile. Wait, it's enough. That would be perfect. You just swap Scrafty for Mega Mawile, and Ceruledge for Mega Chandelure. But I feel like
That'd be pretty
then
sick.
it could work, but I also kind of fear the triple Mega thing. Maybe like after week 1, you drop Mega Abomasnow and switch it with something.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that this team definitely has the structure, like it has the skeleton of a pretty solid trick room team. I think there's just a bit too much overlap, and
Yeah,
my concern is there's not enough special attackers, right? Like,
yeah,
yeah, you have Obama Snow who can spam Blizzard,
and Hydrapple.
and and Hydrapple, but I would really like to see like a
Yeah,
Chandelure, a Mega Gardevoir, even like um,
maybe like
yeah, I don't even know what else. I mean,
I don't know, like maybe
let's see. I mean, what else is kind of like in higher tiers? Like Blastoise is up there, right? Like
heck, maybe even something like Torkoal wouldn't actually be
Hibernian.
half bad here. Like if you
Yeah,
can find a way to move
Torkoal.
things
Yeah, just
around.
yeah. Get the Trick Room up and then just spam Eruption.
Yeah, maybe even Blastoise Mega, like Mega Blastoise, could be something here. Like you fake out Trick Room, and then you just
Hmm.
spam Water Spouts.
Yeah. So I think it has the skeleton and the structure for the Trick Room. I just think you need a little bit too much. You just have too much overlap, and I think you could use um, some more special attacking sweepers to
Yeah,
make use of that Trick Room.
for sure, for sure. I think in the end of the day, I feel like that kind of puts it in like D tier or maybe in C, like low C or high
I
D.
think I think I think C is fine because you do have some pretty strong
Yeah,
guys like Conkel. Like if you can get Trick Room up, and you just kind of click close combat with Conkeldurr, and you click double close combats, or Darkest Lariat and knockoff. But you have like you have strong guys. This team has when you get Trick Room up, I think it has the support to get the Trick Room up, and then you have things to do once Trick Room is up.
yeah, for sure.
Um, so like you can definitely have success with this team. It just defensively it's gonna struggle, and if you know because there's so much overlap. If they have resistances or ways to deal with the like the close combats or the dark type moves or the blizzards, then it might be tough to kind of punch through
Yeah,
some more defensive team cores.
I think maybe this team could also benefit from like a wide guarder. I mean, with
That's
especially
fair.
all the like weaknesses to like pretty calm. Like, actually, wait, no, Bleak Windstorm doesn't exist, but like Fairy, I mean, like with Dazzling Gleam,
Yeah.
especially with that 4x weakness, and a lot of your guys
Yeah.
who are weak to Fairy having low special defense, like, I
Yeah.
feel like a wide guard user could be nice here.
Oh, Conkeldurr has wide guard.
It does?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, shoot. Then,
It also has defog for some reason. Did you know that Conkeldurr gets
yeah.
defog?
I remember
Don't
it
ask me
getting
why.
Nat Dex getting
Because
debuffed.
Timber gets it by breeding, I don't understand why.
But why does. I don't know. Okay. I mean,
Yeah, so
yeah.
Conkeldurr gets wide guard and defog,
I
which
mean,
is very
default
funny to
can
me.
remove
But
screens. I forgot about that.
right, yeah. But yeah, I think C is fine just because again you have the support to get Trick Room up, and then once Trick Room's up, you can just click moves.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think that's enough to get you somewhere, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, if I had to give, like, any last things, I mean, I kind of feel like this team just needs to move its pieces around. It's got the pieces, but the pieces are kind of doing the same role. Like, you can get
Yeah.
a lot more value out of like switching some of these pieces for something better. Like Mega Scrafty
I
and like Conkeldurr do a lot of the same. So
I really like the Chandelure idea
yeah,
over Sarah Ledge, um, just because again it gives you another Trick Room setter, gives you a really strong it also has Flash Fire, um, you know, uh, has spread Heat Wave, it's really strong. I mean Chandelure's like 145 or something like that. It's kind of
for
crazy
sure.
how strong
And the
it
Mega
is.
is like 170.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So uh, yeah, I think that the team could use special attackers, um, and then uh, yeah, Scrafty and Incineroar I think probably play too similar of a role, um, and I think you could use those Incin points to grab another thing that's like really high up there. Even like I don't know like Basque Legion, right? Like
That would actually not
um,
even be half bad.
yeah, like just grab Basque Legion and then just click Trick Room and go min speed adaptability and just say like goodbye, right, to anything.
Yeah.
Um,
I think this team just needs to
so
like definitely after week 1 kind of blow up the roster.
I think yeah, I think that's valid. Just kind of reassess kind of what the Trick Room um options are. Like sorry, like once you get Trick Room up,
Sorry.
kind of reassess what your roles are.
Yeah.
All right. Um, yeah, I mean, I think that was fun. I like kind of looking through everyone's team. Um, definitely think everyone did a good job.
Yeah.
I mean, I like seeing all the ideas that people have and what people prioritized. Um, I was kind of surprised to see there was not really many other like true weather teams. Like obviously you have sun, but I wouldn't call yours a
I'm
sun
not a
team.
true
It's just
weather
because
team.
Charizard just sets the sun and
It uses it
it's
as like
good, right?
stats.
But yeah, like no one took Torkoal. We had one person take Mega T-Tar, but it wasn't T-Tar Excadrill. I think someone took Pelipper, but that one doesn't really feel like a rain team by any means. It just so
I
yeah, I
think
think I was kind of surprised to see like no Torkoal was taken. Um, no one took the T-Tar drill. Uh, I didn't. I mean, Ninetales didn't get taken. Mega Frostlass didn't get taken. So
yeah. I mean, I
I think that was
just
a bit.
saw
I
something
think
in the
overall that
chat.
was a bit surprising.
For Golden Goes, the Porygon G, Kang's
Hmm
gonna get Sandstorm. Is that the Sandstorm setter here? Like instead of going
um,
like inner focus
I
Sandstorm
mean,
turn 1.
yeah, I mean, Lycanroc also gets Sandstorm. I just feel like you could probably just take T-Tar,
Yeah.
but yeah,
But yeah, I feel like everyone has an idea. There's no true
yeah,
like D tier team because I feel like
I
D
think
and F
so.
are reserved for like you have no idea. Like,
you're definitely struggling, and like kind of like we're almost like picking randomly. But
yeah,
so yeah, I think people did a good job. I
yeah,
know I don't know who in our pod are like the new people who have never done drafts before.
yeah.
Um,
But I think everyone
so
did
you know
like a
I'm
pretty solid job,
mhm, I think
especially
so
with
too.
having like less
But
points.
yeah, I think that's hard, you know, but and that makes it also interesting to see like what people can come up with. I do think that Turtles team is probably just looking at it on paper probably the strongest. Just yeah, I mean getting gold is just crazy good.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of options,
I don't know. I feel
so
like
I'm excited to
gold
see.
might be worse, but like I just need to see it in action to like really
That's
give my
fair.
2 cents.
Um, I will say a decent amount of my assessment is also from a singles draft perspective. I've never done a VGC
Yeah.
draft. I've only done singles drafts, and
Yeah.
in singles, Goldango is
Amazing.
really stupid.
Yeah.
I love it. I had a
That list is
draft that
great.
was Goldango, Garchomp, and Chiyu, and it was
Oh
like,
yeah. You just
yeah,
win.
I just got to do whatever I wanted. It was
Yeah.
really fun. But
My main
White Pot
experience
is
is
mostly new people.
yeah. My main experience is mostly VGC draft. I've been doing it for a couple
Hmm.
of years, so like I feel like I kind of know my way around, and
Hmm.
definitely this is like something that you would see out of like a solid like league. This thing goes at least
Yeah,
how many weeks do we have?
I think they said 8 weeks.
8? Like this is definitely a 6-2 at least.
That makes sense. That's fair. Um,
Like I'd
yeah,
say,
no, I
yeah,
like the core. I mean, and I think sometimes it's with a team like this, which I is looking at it and it's like, uh, what is like when I prep for this, like what do I have to expect? And it's like obviously I expect Mega Floet clicking buttons, but then after that it's like, and then what? Are they going to run Trick Room? Are they going to have
yeah,
Ariados I have to cover? Do
yeah,
I have to think about Final Gambit Staraptor? I had to think
yeah,
about Thunder Wave Goldango.
yeah.
Um,
There's just so
you know,
much
I
that
like
that team can do, and I think
yeah.
with a lot of like the A tier teams as well, that's another thing. There's so much they can do. Like of course, like for
Hmm.
example, yours like the main idea is like make Arch stupid, but like you've also
Yeah.
got like a bunch of rain sweepers. You've just got like
Yeah.
so much damage coming in from like all over. Heck, you could even run
Yeah,
Pair
and
Song if you can like somehow find a way
yeah.
to block things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, no, Parasong as another like win condition. No, yeah, it's like with my team, it's like obviously I'm gonna bring Rain.
Yeah,
Rain is gonna show up pretty much every single week. But then it's like, okay, should I be covering for Mega Swampert? Should I be covering for like Dazzling Gleam Spam, Weather Ball?
yeah,
Electro Shot. Like you have to cover for, Swift
yeah,
Swim, Crunch, Swift Swim, Barbarage, Swift Swim, or Fire type Weather Ball in the rain,
yeah,
Earthquake from Mega Swampert, and Electro Shot. Right? It's like
yeah,
so. That's kind of why I'm excited about my team.
yeah. And like
Your
for
team.
oh sorry,
Your team. I'm looking at your team, and it's like, all right, Aerodactyl is probably going to come in, and you're probably going to want to click Tailwind, and you have a Vileplume that's going to want to click Sleep Powder. How do I stop that? Right? It's those are going to be hard to stop. So I think that the A tier teams are like you look at them and you're like, all right, here's going to be their main game plan. Now I need to find a way to stop it.
yeah.
Um,
And then the S tier is like
versus Turtle is like I don't even know what their game plan is, but anything they do is it's going to be hard to stop.
yeah.
Right? That's kind of what I'm thinking about with regards to their team.
And then like with the B tier teams, I'd say like there is like a strong idea, but
Hmm.
it just needs like a piece or two to really get up and going, or like
Yeah,
relies on something too much.
yeah, I think that's fair. I think with the B tier teams, it's like my thought is like, all right, if I can stop like this thing, then I should be able to win. There's like
Yeah,
one big thing that I'm scared of that we have to be ready for, and then once that's dealt with, then we should
yeah,
ideally you'll be okay. And then with the C tier teams, I think my thinking is that there's you have all the right setup. There's the right skeleton. I think there's just a
the
couple
pieces aren't
inconsistencies with
right.
like what the goal of the team and what you're trying to like really accomplish with it. But
Like I'd say
uh,
for these, like to make them an S tier, or like at an A tier, because I think making from A to S is a much harder jump than like from
Yeah.
C to A. Like I feel like for
Yeah,
the
that's
C
fair.
teams, they need like 2+ like
Mm-hmm.
transactions. They need to like change a lot of the team. B, 1 or 2 when you're there, and like
Mm-hmm.
A, like you're not, unfortunately you're not moving further. Like, but A is good enough.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like it, I expect like S and A to definitely make playoffs.
That's fair.
But hey, we never know what happens until it happens.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're
Like
right.
who knows? Maybe
Um,
for example, like not a Penguins team. No, not a Penguins, because that one's actually pretty solid. Like there's one where it's like, you know what? Maybe Cross of Gold's team clicks together perfectly in some way that like we didn't
yeah,
expect.
we're not seeing, right. We're not seeing the full picture and the goal, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's valid. I was just kind of like skimming a little bit through some of these other pods and the white pod. Oh, Trico Mac, this is your team, Trico Max. Wait, your team is crazy. I don't know if you're still watching. I really
Hold
like
on.
this.
Hold on. Which pod is it in?
This is in white.
All right. I was
I
thinking
really
about
like
doing
Trico
white
Max's team.
next. If
Okay, it is kind of getting a bit late for me.
yeah.
So I'll probably have to drop. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, I was kind of like I it
Do you
was
want to
fun to
stay for
kind of
Trico
see what
Maxes?
our pod was doing. Yeah, really quick. I just want to talk about Trico
Yeah.
Maxes. I say
Let's
that
quickly get this done quick.
because I saw that this was also the rain team. So I was like, oh, rain.
Also, oh
Um,
my god, great mega selection. Getting both is amazing.
this is really good.
Like I think you might have a
um,
problem of like you want to bring both.
Yeah, but I just
Like
think it's funny
suffering
that
from
this kind of
success.
has like a lot of the guys that I was looking at too. Like the Ariados, I think pairs really well
With rain.
with Metagross. With it pairs really well with the Rain. I really like. You have double redirection, which is
Oh
like
yeah,
that's
amazing.
pretty good. Toxicroak I think is really good in Rain. I love the Mega Dragonite pick. I really like your team.
Yeah, for sure. I think
Um,
mainly the one nitpick I have is mainly that your two big guys are megas, so like it can be a problem. Like you're kind of suffering from success here. Like this isn't
yeah.
like it isn't really your team's problem. It's more like these two guys are so good that you're gonna have to debate which one to bring every single week.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's so fair. But yeah, I
I
love the
also
double redirect. I love the double fake out. Talonflame is, a really good pick for
yeah
Tailwind. Um,
yeah
sorry, I just saw the Polytoad and I like kind of saw
yeah.
the rest of the team. Um, but yeah.
Like I think
Anyway, thanks for looking through those. That was fun.
yeah, no problem.
I'm gonna hop off, but y'all, I'll kind of see what you end up putting for all the other teams, and
All
maybe I'll just
right.
kind of skim them and take a
Yeah.
look later. But
And
all right.
just for anyone still there, I'm gonna be taking over for White, and then possibly tomorrow or Thursday, uh, I'll maybe possibly we'll c- wrap up. What is the other ones? Blue and green.
All right. See you guys. Bye.
Alrighty, so now y'all are stuck with me. Uh, let's get this party moving though. So continuing on with what is it? Tricomaxes. I just really think this team is great. I love the support. Like this is some great support pieces. I like Miascarada here too. I think the biggest thing this team could like is like a Swift swimmer. I feel like it's kind of obvious, but a single Swift swimmer like that isn't Mega Swampert would be like the perfect thing. Like I don't know, like give me I don't know I don't know. But like this team needs a Swift swimmer. Like you catch my drift. Like maybe Basque Legion female if it's still on the board. Is it still on the board? Yeah, it is. I think Basque Legion female would be a perfect one for this team, and like I think that might be able to bump it from like an A to an S. But besides that, I think this team's amazing. I love the team. I think just this team's great. I'd say this is A. I like this as an A team. It's actually a pretty good squad. Alrighty, let's track back with Banter and the Pacific Pyres. Alrighty, let's see how this team does. First of all, I kind of immediately noticed that you're doing one of the ladder methods of Mega Sept, Rotom Heat. I'm not 100% sure how that will translate to draft, but I heard it's pretty solid. I think my first thing is that, in all due respect, I don't think Mega Sceptile will ever, I don't know, come around well enough. Like, I see the idea, but it just, I don't know. So I'm kind of just reading the rules of, just reading the rules for free agency grace period. Okay. Okay. Alright, sorry about that. I'm back. Yeah, definitely Disquake. I also don't like how you have 4 grass types. I think there's too many, and some of them are kind of useless, all due respect. I think, first of all, again, looking at the defensive, in all due respect, this is horrendous. This could use some definite improvement. I think there's a little bit too much overlap. You've kind of missing a lot of types, and you're overlapping a lot on grass, ghost, normal, dragon, electric. I like the speed tiers. I just feel like Mega Sceptile is never coming. I mean, I don't know if even Mega Drampa comes that much, but you do have fake out users. You do have a Rage Powderer. I mean, I just think this team, first of all, doesn't have enough physical damage. Your only physical attacker is Mega Kang. Like, I feel like this team definitely needs a rebuild. I like the idea. I think it's kind of going for like an offensive set, maybe with some Trick Room support, but I think a lot of the pieces don't combine together well enough. I think this is unfortunately a D tier team. I feel like, yeah, like kind of seeing what was in the chat, like Disquake could be a good idea here. Like at this point, like I don't really like Mega Sceptile. Mega Sceptile is not the method. I don't know. It just feels like it kind of is weak to everything and can't really cover enough. Like, I don't know if like any of you guys in chat really got something, but yeah. But besides that, I think there's some potential for sure. I do like Mega Kang. Mega Kang's amazing. Sinistcha is amazing. I like Heat Tom. Heat Tom's very underrated in draft. Mega Drampa, as we talked about, pretty solid. And File Plume, I think, just doesn't fit the team here. Chandelure is a solid Trick Room setter, but I don't know if it really meshes well with Sinistcha and Rotom Heat. Simichage, I like the fake out, but too much grass overlap. I don't know what Emolga does, in all due respect. I don't know what it does. And Hisuian Zoroark, I mean, I don't hate it. And same with Mega Sceptile. I just think there's like better things to do. So yeah, that's gonna be our first D tier. But I do think the team is pretty fixable. If we use all 5 transactions, we can definitely rebuild this into a very potent team. This team originally had Winds and Torkoal? Why did they trade that away? That changes this team from like a D to at least a C. I don't know. That feels a little interesting, okay? but maybe I can see it. I can kind of see it. You don't really have a great Trick Room setter besides Sinistcha. And I mean, Whims, there's too many grass types. There's, I feel like this team's biggest problem is like it has way too much overlap. Alrighty, let's go to the next team. Oh wow, just first look, this thing looks great. Whoever did this, I'm not gonna say great job yet, but great job. Let's see. Mega Floette, Mega Pyroar, Meowstic, and then Mega Dragalge. Alright, let's look at this. Okay. There's some pretty big defensive problems here. I don't like big weaknesses to ice. Flying, I think, is a little bit more getawayable. There's not that much really in the metagame that can hit you with flying. But, okay, let's see. I think you're bringing Mega Floette so much that I don't think this team really gets a use out of Mega Dragalge or Mega Mega Pyroar in most ways. I do like Meowstic here. I do like the screens. I think screens do set up a lot, like Calm Mind, Mega Floette, Nasty Plot, Hydreigon, or even is the crit boosting item in here? I mean, I think as we look through, like, hold on, let me look. Is anyone really taking ice types? There's no Frostlass. There's no Ninetales, I think. Maybe I'm not seeing it. Where the hell's Ninetales? But I don't see Ninetales. Oh yeah, Ninetales was taken, but like that's kind of it. I mean, still, I don't know. With that much of a weakness to ice, it's not something, super great. Let's see. Is this Rockwell? Am I missing this? But besides that, I mean, also, Fake Outer? What is the Fake Outer in all due respect? I mean, Meowstic is 4 move slot syndrome when it comes to Fake Out. I don't think it's really gonna want to run Fake Out that much, and I think having no Fake Out is super weak in VGC draft. Yeah, like, when it comes to type chart, I think having a couple weaknesses isn't that bad, but like when it's glaring ones, it can be pretty bad, especially if you don't have a resistance to a type. That can be pretty rough, and like a lot of weaknesses to one type, it can really end up like roughening up a team. But I don't think type chart is the end of the world. Like, I'm not gonna negate you. I'm not gonna punish you super much. But like, for example, with the previous team with Banter, that team's type chart is so awful. But like here, I mean, I don't know. I think I see something. Like, I see what the plan is. I mean, the plan is the spam spread damage with like Hydreigon and Mega Floette, like massive special damage, and then Ceruledge comes with massive physical damage. Like, there's an idea here. But I do think that Mega Pyroar is never really going to be able to come, or Dragalge. Like, yeah, the Fairy Fire Megas together do look scary, but I think at the same time, I don't think both will be able to come, like, to many matchups. Like, you're going to have to lose one, which is going to suck for this team. I mean, I don't hate Quaquaval here, and I mean, besides that, is there any good Trick Room setters? I think it's just Meowstic, really. But I see the potential. I just don't like the speed drop. I think the team needs a little bit of something, like, to combine it together. There's nothing wrong with Pyroar. There's nothing wrong with Pyroar at all. It's really, Pyroar isn't bad. I'm not saying that. It's more because Mega Floette is so good, there's going to be like not that many matchups where you don't want to bring it. Like, I mean, I haven't looked at the teams really, but I feel like Mega Floette can do most of Mega Pyroar's job. Like, I don't see that many matchups where you want to bring Mega Pyroar over Mega Floette. I think there's just a little bit too much of a idea overlap, you know? Like, Mega Pyroar is spamming Heat Waves, which is super similar, if not the same, to Mega Floette spamming Dazzling Gleam. But besides that, this team is very scary on paper. Like, there's just so many threats you have to worry about that you can definitely pilot this team to being like a dark horse squad. So I would say like this is a C tier, but super close to D. I mean not D, B. Like B and A, super insight for the squad. Alrighty. Oh yeah, and also just a disclaimer. Um, these grades are not a reflection of skill. Like, well, I'm not perfect. Maybe I'm totally gonna miss some things. Like, there's definitely some ideas I'm not seeing here, but I think all these teams can be piloted well enough by someone with good enough skill to bring great results. So, just a little disclaimer that should have been said at the start. Alrighty. Sometimes I wish this doc was better at translating mons in. Kind of annoying to have to like click through them all. Oh, there's Mr. Rhyme. Kind of realize there's no space on the name. Oh no. Like, just first thing, do any of these mons learn Sheer Cold? Or anything? I think they do. There's Sheer Cold. I think the idea is like trainment no guard with Mr. Rhyme. First of all, there's not a single weakness to grass or fighting on this team. Good job. I like the speed tiers, but there's a lot of problems. First of all, you've got a Sun Nuke with manual Sun, which can be a definite problem. You have a Trick Room setter, but no real Mon that wants to sit in Trick Room except Mega Clefable, and maybe like a slow Hisuian Typhlosion. I don't see what Mega Pidgeot does here for ya. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Super weak to Rock and Flying. I don't like the fire, especially if you're running two Eruption, like two big Sun Spammers, and the electric weakness isn't great either. This team definitely has a little bit too much overlap. This could definitely benefit from like a water type, steel types, ground types, dragon type especially. I think dragon type would help a lot. But definitely this is one where the type chart is a problem. This is an example of one. I also don't like that the only fake outer is Sableye. Sableye is going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting to get this team working. I also don't know what Mega Pidgeot does. Like, coming back to it, what does it do here? In all due respect. Like, if you want the no guard, just run Mega Halucha, because you can entrainment. I don't see what Mega Pidgeot does for this team that someone else does. The only thing is like maybe Tailwind. Tailwind and Hurricanes are the only unique thing to this. I just think there's better out there. Like, this team, I think, has the potential. Like, there's definitely some good pieces here. Like, I could see, like, Sableye Sun with Scarf, Hisuian, Typhlosion being pretty big. And Frisk is great for draft. I like Ferrograph and Mega Clefable, actually, more than I look at it. Those two can actually be pretty scary. I do like Mega Halucha. I just think this team, I don't know, it doesn't have an idea. It has pieces, but no consistent idea around it. Which is why, unfortunately, I have to give it the D tier. There's an idea, not really. Yeah, definitely. Like a favorites pick, like this definitely felt like a first draft league. Like you're picking pieces that are good individually, but they don't work together. They're good on their own. Like this might be a little bit better in singles, might work a little bit better. Like the pieces work good on their own, but together they have more anti synergies than anything. Alrighty, next one, Moku. Um, I like this. Like another one where I'm like, without looking at it, I like it. First of all, kind of similar to my team. I love the Sylveon. Sylveon is love. Sylveon is life. And I mean, okay. For Mega Sableye, I think it's cheaper, no? How much is Sableye? We're looking at 8 points and 10 points. So for 2 points cheaper, you just get an itemless Sableye, which I don't know if is 100% worth it. But first of all, okay, there's a rock weakness, but it's not the end of the world. Like you have enough physically tanky Pokemon, I feel, who can respectfully tank a rock slide, but it's not the end of the world. Like I don't think anything like coverage rock is gonna ruin this team. Like I don't think a Garchomp rock slide will hurt this team that much, or like I don't know, a Mega Gengar Ice Beam, not the end of the world really for the squad. I do love the pieces. There's a lot of good pieces here. Pieces are good. Keep up the pieces work. Speed tiers aren't the end of the world. I mean, the 20 is a drop, but it's forgivable because it's really hard to match 20. Heliolisk, I love here. Breaks a counter, same with Aerodactyl. I think this team has a lot of special pressure, but would love a physical attacker. There's no real physical attacker here. All the physical attackers here are kind of fake. Like, Hisuian Samurai isn't the greatest. Gudra isn't the greatest. It could definitely use a better physical attacker. But I like the pieces. This team has great potential. Actually, I just noticed a problem. There's no fake out. Yeah, naming it Delphox and then getting Megazard's kind of funky. But I mean, it's best spawn available. But no fake out besides Sableye hurts this team a lot. I think this kind of respectively moved it from A to B. I think fake out is so important in VGC draft. You need one Pokemon who wants to click it consistently. And I don't know if Sableye wants to click it that much. Like, I think just, I mean, I don't know. Like, this team is so good on paper. I like the pieces. I think it's just missing, like, one or two things. Like, it could really use a good fake outer. It could use a good physical attacker. And that's it. This team is instant S if it has those two things. But I think that fake out and physical weakness is so major that it drops it down to B. But besides that, I love this team. I mean, kind of tooting on my own horn, but Zard Aerodactyl is probably one of the better synergies in this. So yeah, I think when it comes to Moku, like, my only advice for you is you've got the good squad. Just needs like really fake out and a physical attacker, and you'll probably, not even probably, definitely be one of the best squads in your league. Alrighty. Next team. So this is the Delphox team. Alrighty, I'm gonna be honest, I don't like this team. Not to be that guy, but there's a big problem when it comes to this. And I think it's that your best guys are megas. And unfortunately, I don't think you have enough support pieces to really make it work. Let's see. First of all, that water weakness. Yeah, not great. Yeah, you took one of the better damaging waters in Palafin, but that's really uncomfortable. That is very uncomfortable to use. I mean, let's see. Vivian and Mega Delphox. Again, we talked about that anti synergy. I do like Incineroar and Aurora Peko for Fake Out. This team could really benefit from a grass type though. A grass and a dragon could really help. Don't like that you only have immunities to flying, so gravity could be a problem. I do like Vivid and Sin. Those are great support. Probably the best support duo I've seen yet from this group. I think one of the biggest problem is that like all your like best mons, like Mega Lucario and Mega Delphox, like just never work together, you know? Like I don't know how to like say it, but it's like your best two mons on offense can't be megas. Like that works in regular VGC, but in draft, you're losing a lot of potential. Like that you can't bring your best two physical mons, like your attacking mons, every single game. Like if you if one doesn't work, like you're down an entire offensive piece. Like you can't bring one. And I mean, respectfully, I don't think this team has enough of another offensive piece or can really get away with it. Like Palafin maybe, but Palafin can get stuck a lot. Like Palafin requires a lot of skill to pilot. And I think this team will have to really develop that skill to pilot Palafin well. But besides that, I do think there's a great plan here. There's a good fake outer. And I mean, I don't know, this is a B tier team. I don't think I can give it C. Like, maybe if I move things around I would. But this is not a, you know, I don't know how to say it, but like not a B tier team. And that's like it's not a B tier, but it's not a C tier. I don't know. I think it's just B. So I'll put it in B. Maybe later on I'll change my mind. This is one where I'm like, maybe it's B, maybe it's C. If I see like some better teams, it'll probably go down. Next. Okay. Alrighty. Next we got King L5 and Flex Appeal. First look, this is great. Getting all these pieces together, amazing. I'm very biased to one mega teams, and I think this does the job best. First of all, little critique. A Ghost Resist would be nice. A Dark type would do wonders. But it's not the end of the world. No, it's definitely not the end of the world for the squad. I love Mega Aerodactyl. I think it's one of the better megas that you can get. Tailwind, it's actually can do some pretty decent damage compared to like a lot of the mons. I love Garchomp next to it. Earthquakes. Alola Ninetales weirdly has good synergy with it. Because I mean the Aurora Veil really helps. And it takes away one of Garchomp's biggest counters. Sneasler is great. Fake Out. Those top four, immediately. Just great. Serena, great. Empoleon, great. Scovillain, actually pretty solid. Sharna, okay as a Trick Room setter, but I don't see it doing anything else. Charizard I don't get, in all due respect. I don't get what Charizard does that Scovillain can't. Like, I don't know. Rotom, I mean Rotom's Rotom. Like it actually is pretty good all things considered. So I think it's a pretty respectable squad. I mean, let me look at the moves quickly. Is there like any concerns here? hell, you got your Tailwind, you got your Redirection, you got Wipe Guard, Trick Room. Heck, you even got like Phasing, Taunt, Encore. Um, yeah, my only nitpicks are like, what does Charizard do? And no Ghost Resist. But I think this team is just so good. This team is great. This team can get it done. I think this team will be able to get it done. This is one of my more favorite teams, in all due respect. I think this is a great draft, and yeah, I see a lot of potential. Actually, all right. Second nitpick. I don't like your special attackers. Oh, Sunny Day. Arrow gets Sunny Day. Didn't know. Good to know, actually. I don't know if I like the special attackers still. Like, they require a little bit too much setup. Like, I don't know. Although Ninetales sometimes just doesn't do enough damage. But I think I see the potential. And this is like low. Like, this is probably low S, high A, but I feel like it's better than most of the A teams. So I'd say it's S. It's probably our other S. I feel like maybe I would have personally preferred Typhlosion. Just, I don't know. I feel like Eruption would have been a little bit nicer here. I mean, both are kind of the same. I just feel like just base Typhlosion would have helped a little more. Don't really know. But, ooh, that's my 2 cents on it. You've got enough bad immunes. So yeah, I think yes. Alrighty, moving on. Oh yeah, after white, I'm gonna be done for the night. Alrighty. San Diego Surf by Vapor. And finally, for the love of God, someone actually did sand. Like, correct. Yeah, I can see why Zard. I don't know, I just feel like I would personally prefer Typhlosion here, but there's definitely a reason why for Zard. Alrighty. Holy cow, why is every Pokemon on this team weak to fighting? Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. That's really bad. This is really, really bad. Like, all your Pokemon are weak to the same thing. That's bad. Like, I don't care how good your team is. In draft, that can get abused. Literally anything with fairy fighting beats everything on this team. Literally, Azu is the only Pokemon that doesn't take super effective damage from one of those. Speed tiers aren't bad, per se. No Trick Room is rough. Not enough special bulk. Good physical bulk. Good physical attackers, but no good special attackers. I think there's an idea here, but it's just so flawed. This idea is so flawed. A lot of these Pokemon are gonna have to hold resist berries, limiting a lot of their power. I think really just a good fighting type and a good fairy type wall this team out. So unfortunately, I don't know if I really can look into this further and give it any saving grace, but I fear that this team can just get run over really quick. Like, Azu is gonna have to do a lot of heavy lifting. Azu and Excadrill are gonna have to do so much. Troppleberry, Excadrill, and like Azu are the only things you're gonna be able to consistently bring to like your matchups. So that's why I believe this is a D tier, unfortunately. This team definitely has an idea. Unlike like one that's pretty obvious, I feel. but it's just so defensively weak. Oh, Grimsnarl and Core? Hold on. Grim and Core. I think the better idea would have been to drop Lipard and Crook. Yeah, the better idea would have been to drop Lipard and Crook instead of Okay, if you've changed those, I mean, yeah, the weaknesses are still bad for fighting and fairy, but I don't know. I still feel like the team is D with both. Like, that's not one where I feel like, unfortunately, like, this team needs a major rehaul. Like, I see the idea. I'm not saying there isn't an idea, because I see it. But, just, the pieces don't work together. There's too many fighting weaks. Like, your entire team is weak to fighting, except Staraptor and Azumarill. And then they're all weak to fairy. Like, there's just so many Pokemon weak to so much that, I don't know, I don't see it. Let's see, anything else? Alrighty. Next. Yeah. I definitely see why. I don't blame him. I mean, definitely feels like the team could use some major rehauling, like most of the teams in D tier and C tier for the matter. Those teams I feel like use rehauls, but like they have ideas. Alright, I like this. I like this a lot. I like this. I think this team is pretty scary. I'd pray for y'all. The team's actually pretty okay defensively. Okay, special bulk. What does this expand to? Okay. Okay. I don't really have that many nitpicks. I think this is great. It's awesome. I can see every idea that this thing has. It has a Trick Room set with like Armarouge, Trevenant, Kingambit, Mudsdale. Tailwind with Staraptor isn't half bad. Support Dragapult could be great here. Simipour for Fake Out. I feel like that's my only nitpick. Get a better Fake Outer. And this team is golden. But I think this team can just do enough where it can get away without Fake Out. It can get away with it. I think this team is good enough, and especially in champs where there's not that many good enough Fake Out users, where I think this team can get away with it. This team is built where it doesn't really need it. So yeah, S tier. Good job, Lovely Jane and Toaster Strudel. I don't really see any big problems. So yeah, I think that might be the scariest team. I think this is the best team in my opinion. Wow. Okay. Alrighty, Gio, let's first of all see how the type chart Oh yeah. Simipour is probably one of the better last picks. It, Simisage, and Simisear are probably some of the best 1-pointers. I think they should have been 2 points. First of all, I don't know. I know it's a rain team, but 5 waters is a little overkill. Especially when you have Mega Swamp and Basculegion, who kind of fill the same role. I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like you could definitely remove a couple of these waters. I love it. I like the idea. Whew. Let's keep moving. There's a lot of type overlap. I don't know. I don't have much to say about this team. This team's a little too slow. Even with the Swift Swimmers. This team is pretty reliant on rain. Rain or die. There's nothing else this team can really do in all due respect. Um, I don't know. I don't see a Trick Rumor, which could be the way for this team. Oh, Clefke. A lot of wide guarders. Snarl's pretty nice. No fake out. I don't like that. I think this team needs fake out. This team needs fake out for um it this team needs fake out for pace. To make pace, this team needs fake out. Um Actually pretty good special wall, pretty good physical wall, pretty solid physical and special damage. But actually I don't know. I don't like Ampharos. I don't believe in Ampharos. But I think this team could use another special attacker, a fake outer, and probably not as many waters. But all things considered, I don't hate this team. The type chart's pretty friendly, even with 5 waters. They all kind of do their own separate role. So I think Geo, not even that bad. I'm going to put it in B. It's the one where I'm like, maybe move it to C. This one might be moved to C. Let's see, one last team. Okay. I like this. Just immediately looking at it, I'm not gonna make a big judgment, but I think there's something here. I think my only nitpick. All right, let's see. Type chart's pretty friendly. Speed tiers aren't. I don't like the jump from 30 to 70. It's tough, but I feel like there could have been better. Simisear, not bad. Solid fake out. Great fake out, actually. Gengar, doing a lot. Again, another team where Gengar is doing a lot. But I feel like, unlike last time with the yellow team that ran it, what was it? Let me check. Give me a quick second. Yeah, this Doom Desire squad, I think, like, is so much, like, this team, I see who the guys are. Like, Como, Mamoswine, Blastoise, Masshold. This Gengar actually doesn't have to do everything. So, I think this Gengar kind of can fit in either more of a support role, be of an attacker, be Perish Trap. Perish Trap's amazing here because you got Blastoise for fake out, and then you can pivot out. I think it gets a pivot move. Does it get a pivot move? Just pivot. It gets flip turn. That's great. Like fake out, flip turn. Like turn 1 fake out, turn 2 like protect, flip turn, then like turn 3 sit mouse hold, spam encore on max speed. Like disable encore could be amazing. I really like this team. This is A. I don't know. I don't have much to say about a lot of these teams because I feel like a lot of these teams, it's pretty obvious what they want to do. And actually, Aromatisse and Snorlax, that's a pretty solid 1-2 punch Trick Room. Oh yeah, I definitely agree. It doesn't need to do anything crazy. This team is crazy in of itself. And also Como, I don't know how I didn't notice, but like, wow. And I was going to give the nitpick of physical attackers, but Mamoswine's enough. Snorlax is enough. Como can even run physical if it wants to. Heck, even Blastoise. Shell Smash could be a great niche pick. There's actually a lot of going on here. I think this is another S tier. You know what? Everyone's saying White is the newbie. I don't think so. There's actually some great teams here. Maybe I'm a little bit glazing though. Like, I don't know. This team feels great. This team has the pieces. Mousehold, unfortunately, is doing a lot. But, I mean, for a support mon, that's not the end of the world. I think this team, maybe it's A. Maybe I'm glazing it too much. I think this team needs, like, I know it looks S tier. I want to give it S tier, but my only other thing is like, there's no other support mon really. Like, that's my only nitpick. Can Mousehold be enough? I think it's S, but it's like, if there's enough S's, I think this is the lowest one that I bumped to A. Like, I think this team needs like one more support piece, like one more solid support piece. Yeah, like I don't know, like it is S. I can't deny it S, but it just feels like this team could use like one more support piece. Maybe Blastoise comes as a support a lot. That would probably be it, and I think that would be enough. Yeah, actually, I think Blastoise on the support makes this team great. Yeah, Icy Wind, Fake Out. Yeah, I think this team has what it takes. It's probably, I don't know if it's the best, but it's definitely one of the best. Yeah, I don't know. With Gengar here, I feel like you want to run it more as offensive pressure. What does Mo get? I mean, Mo gets Wisp. Mo gets Wisp. Mo gets Webs. Like, I don't know. Yes, hazards exist. I don't believe in hazards. The only hazards I believe in is Glamora and maybe Self Rock if you're facing Yard. Oh yeah, also, quick tip: bring Stealth Rock for Yard. It's probably one of the better niche like techs. I think it's actually not even that half bad. Um, Toxic's pretty good for breaking sashes. So yeah, besides that, that's all I gotta say for these. So I'll give you guys one last look at the tier list. Here's what we got. No F tiers. Yeah, spikes. But yeah, here's what I got for the tiers. Um, I do think everyone drafted pretty solidly. Like everyone knew what was good. Oh yeah, Romatisse is a Trick Room setter. It gets heal pulse. Like I remember mentioning it with Snorlax. What you could do is like have that citrus gluttony, or it would be a spare gluttony, I think. Yeah, spare gluttony. And then you can heal pulse spam it in Trick Room as it under speeds. It also gets Aroma Veil, so it's unaffected by Fake Out. So I think all these teams, like everyone, I feel like knew what was good, like had the idea. I mean, some, of course, knew what they were doing and like will definitely be great. While some, I think, they've got what it takes, but there's gonna be some things. And don't worry, for everyone in blue and green, rollers will be added here too. If I had to give my predictions, everyone in S, if on 8 weeks, y'all are going 6-2 or better. Y'all will definitely make playoffs as probably your top seed. For A, I think it is 5-3 or better. Again, y'all will definitely make playoffs, I feel. Not as top seed, but as a good contender. Like, you'll definitely be at the least a semis contender for your group. B tier, I think you might go 4-4, 5-3. Definitely make playoffs. Maybe on like one of the lower seeds, but you'll definitely make playoffs. And maybe have potential of like second round. C tier, definitely 4-4 and below. Might make playoffs, but I think there's just some more work that needs to do. D tier, I unfortunately don't think you guys make playoffs right now, but definitely with some work, these teams can be made into A tiers and B tiers. But yeah, that's all for today. I think both of these ones are going to be pretty good. I think White was definitely more highs and lows. He got a lot of S's and a lot of D's, while White was kind of seen to be a little bit more clumped up in the middle, like a lot of A's, B's, and C's. But besides that, hey, that's all I got for you guys. Just a quick reminder, this is not a reflection on your skill as a battler. Don't take these 100% seriously. These are just kind of me and anyone else who joins me being like just making our guesses, having some fun, kind of seeing what these teams have the potential of doing. And hey, if your team is lower than you expected, surprise us. Prove us wrong. Please prove us wrong. I want to see these D tier teams and C tiers. I want to make first place. It would be funny as hell. But yeah, besides that, that's all I got for you today. Yeah. Thank you all for watching. I'll post the prep doc resources and the tier list and the VOD. And that's all I got for you guys. Thank you all.